Who did I make jump? Who did I make jump? Someone tell me if you jump. Hello? I'm a bit quiet, actually. Maybe I made no one jump because I'm too quiet. How is that? Sorry, I'm not asking anyone. I'm watching the thing go up and down. Because, you know, visually is how you should determine how your sound is, of course. How are we doing? We're gonna watch a lot of rubbish on Twitter. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to inform you this is going to be painful, and I don't blame anyone who gets fed up very quickly. I made you jump. I'm so sorry. I say that. I was very gleeful about it moments ago, so maybe I'm not. Yeah, so, okay, first of all, thank you so much to those that have watched my Trans Brains video. We're on almost 5,000 views, I think, which for me is crazy. And nice to see my sub count change as well, because it's been a while. We were like hard stuck. I think that's what happens. I make a video that gets a few views, and my sub count goes up again. And then it goes down and kind of gets hard stuck. And then eventually I make something else that gets a few views, and the pattern continues. But that's okay. Yeah, what are we on? 4.7k. Like, for me at the moment, that's really good. So, thank you all. Thank you all that watched that video. I'm actually working on another video because I want to make much more scripted content. I don't really want to be doing like shitter streams for the rest of my time. So we're making stuff that hopefully says something. Have I heard of Alexis Blake? I know who Alexis Blake is. I always thought she was okay, I guess. Like, she wasn't like a TRA, which is good. So she tends to be quite a fence sitter. And recently she copyright claimed some like TRA leftist YouTuber or whatever for like using clips of her videos and then like critiquing them in a video, which is completely fine to do. And I agreed with basically nothing that this YouTuber said, and it was a pretty terrible video. But I think that people should have the right to use other people's clips and make their own content that's transformative, which is what that person did. So the fact that Alexis copyright struck that person was extremely off-putting to me, to be honest. But yeah. Yeah, so I'm making a video about our good friend Helen Webberley. Do I know what really surprised me? There's actually very little content about Helen Webberley. Most of it is like Buck Angel, like react segments and shit like that, and I'm really not a fan of Buck Angel. But like I was having a quick look to see who else had talked about her. You know, I looked at a lot of the kind of the UK kind of turfy kind of crowd, and like none of them have really done anything. None of them have gone through all the different like court transcripts and stuff. None of them have put everything together, like put a bunch of stuff together about what she's like full of shit on, which is plenty of things. Not very hard to find her saying weird shit, and that's kind of the point of today, really, is listening to her saying more weird shit, just seeing if anything else grabs me, because I want to finish up my video. What day is it today? Monday. I would like to have my Helen Webberley video done by the end of the week, if possible. Oh, hi, JSauce. Yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you again. Yeah, it's bizarre. There's almost no one that's made a video about her that really kind of puts everything together. However, apparently Buck Angel is debating her on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Hang on, let me see if I can. I'm sure he made a post about it. We'll get watching some of this weird shit in a sec, I promise. By the way, make sure you like the stream. Don't forget you can super chat on Streamlabs or YouTube or other things. I turned on my dono bar, but I don't think it's going to appear. It's not the end of the world. I don't really rely on stream donos, to be quite honest, but I do appreciate them. So consider taking your support a step further if you would like to. But then please also like the stream. What was I going to look at? Oh, Buck Angel. Yeah, apparently Buck Angel is going to debate her, which is... I'm not holding out much hope because I don't think he's especially intelligent, to be honest. Yeah, here we go, here we go. You see that? Yeah. He's debating Helen Webberley at Cambridge Union on May the 14th, which is Thursday. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm hoping it won't ruin my video at all. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It probably won't have much. It probably won't have much impact, to be honest. Have I seen the Finster deep dive? I don't think I have. No. I watched Chud back in the day when he went through a lot of the weird grooming shit. I find Finster quite hard to watch, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, so it's him and someone called Alfonso David. Andrew Boff AM. Who is Andrew Boff? Andrew Boff AM. Member of the Tory party. But it looks like he's... It looks like he's on the side of Helen Webberley here. Yeah, this house believes modern LGBTQ plus activism fails its community. I'm presuming Buck Angel and the other person are taking the positive stance on this and saying that yes, this is true. I do agree with this. And again, that's part of the reason I'm making a thing about Helen Webberley, because I think her shit is not helpful. Alfonso David. Yes, this guy's a member of the Tories. Oh, and he's gay. Okay, wow. Ginger group. Oh. Not literally a group for gingers. Fair enough, fair enough. Buck seems to think he's more intelligent than he is. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, he just says a lot of dumb shit. It's like, I have broad agreements with him, but he says too much dumb shit. This is Alfonso David, I'm guessing. Sorry, if there's a clicking sound, it might be my jaw. Do apologize. He was advising Andrew Cuomo when he was accused of sexually assaulting women. Oof. Hi, Aldin Ramek. Hope you're good. I haven't seen you in a while either. He was part of Human Rights Campaign. Okay, so he doesn't seem like kind of MAGA gay, you know what I mean? But he apparently is arguing with Buck Angel. Why is it every time I speak there's a buzzing noise? Oh, there'll be some problem with my mixer or something. I can't really do much about it right now, I'm sorry. Unless it's a noise from outside or something. I don't know how to fix it, to be honest. If I start messing with stuff, it'll get worse. Yeah, so that's happening. But yeah, I'm making a video. It shouldn't really be affected by whatever happens here, to be honest. So I'm not timing it to this or anything. We need any of this anymore. So yeah, it's kind of the only thing I haven't really done is gone through a lot of weird Twitter videos. And it's going to be a right pain in the ass doing this. I'm going to have to skip quite a lot of this because it'll be like podcast clips and shit like that. Like clips from her YouTube videos where she used to make more kind of dedicated stuff, you know. What's this?
I'm on my way to Cambridge debating about LGBT activism and why we still need it. Now, I know there's some members of the community that live
Why we still need it, by the way. Straight woman, while we still need it.
Privileged lives and even make livings out of denying their own community. However, not all LGBT people are so privileged. We daily see discrimination, hate, bias, prejudice. Little tiny things like, ew, two men kissing, or ew, shouldn't the child have a daddy? Or ew, swings both ways. And for trans people, daily discrimination can be life-threatening and is. We've seen rejection, we've seen withdrawal of rights, we've seen challenge of identity, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's time for us all, whether we're part of that community or standing alongside of that community, to stand up for LGBT people and not...
Yeah, so the whole prompt of this debate is that these efforts are not helping. You know what it is? You know what I mean?
Not accept any exclusion, discrimination, prejudice, hateful behaviour. So pull your socks up, everybody, raise your hand and stand by our LGBT friends.
Fucking allies, man. So these are all from YouTube videos. I'm very interested in these. Was the one where she called Helen Joyce a fucking bitch, which is funny. What's this?
1% of people are transgender, and that means 1% of people are being persecuted by rampant anti-trans legislature. Something needs to be done about this quickly, and if you think this is wrong, or if you have a vote to put in place, then please raise your hand and use it. 1% of people...
Wow.
And do you know what? Young people are just the best. They're so inclusive, they're so welcoming, they're so colourful, they're so accepting, they're so understanding, because humans are just so beautifully different. Well done, you young people. And cisgender young people, we need you to speak up. And do you know...
It's always we, isn't it? It's always we. Piers Morgan clip. What the fuck is this?
First, she was discriminated against because of her gender identity.
Harriet Haynes? Oh! Harriet Haynes was that pool player. And we've got that Victoria McLeod woman. Only her client's customers. Well, they are, in effect. Yeah, it was that pool player. Like, I don't know, man. At the same time as it seems a bit silly that pool is like sexually, is like divided by sex. I do think if something is like women's sport, it should be for female people. I'm sorry. Like, how many women, whenever pool tournaments started, how many women were getting a look in until they got their own league? And now more male people are joining in on their sport. It's like, if it's sex-based, then it should be sex-based, I guess. Like, it's okay for them to have their own thing. We don't need to invade literally everything. But that's me. I don't know. So she's appealing... This person's appealing not being allowed to play pool in women's pool. I don't see the fucking point in this. I hope this person isn't like fundraising. It's always this... Jesus fucking Christ. It's always this like vanity shit. There's like darts as well. It is like joke sports, don't get me wrong. But I don't know why it's so important that male people have to be able to go in with women, you know? I hope they're not doing a fucking... What were they called? Like GoFundMe or something. They lost a discrimination case already. When's this from? 2026. So I guess they're fighting it again? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What is this? Oh, this is not that. I can't see that they're doing a fundraiser for it, at least. That's the one thing I really hate. There was someone else called, I can't remember what they were called, like Rachel or something. They weren't allowed to play hockey with women, which I don't know why you'd want male people in like fucking women's hockey, but okay. And they did like a fundraiser to bring a lawsuit against it. It's like, why the fuck are people giving money for some trans person to like sue because they're not allowed to play hockey with women? Like, I don't fucking get it. But this person at least isn't doing that, so I don't know. But I don't give a shit about this, I'm sorry. What was the video anyway?
First, she was discriminated against because of her gender identity and stopped from playing pool for the women.
Does anyone want to see a really bad channel? If you're in my Discord, the best way is to link stuff. Hang on, I'll update the link in my chat. Not in my chat, in my description, in case you're not in there. I just need to be careful because my Discord got attacked recently. We had some bots spamming a whole bunch of shit. I don't know, the best way is either give it on my Discord or give the name of the channel. I'll have a look.
Women's team and stopped from playing pool for the women's team. Then she lost a discrimination claim fighting for her case, but now she's been allowed to appeal. And this is a firm message to anybody.
Firebat isn't dead. No, he shouldn't be. He's a dad now. They had the baby. Hopefully he'll stay the fuck off the internet and just be a fucking parent.
Facing discrimination, that you must keep fighting for your rights. Well done, Harriet Haynes. First,
oh, she's so fucking annoying. Sorry, hang on. I need to listen to that again.
She was discriminated against because of her gender identity and...
Like, can you discriminate against someone on the basis of their gender identity? Like, if a trans person is being discriminated against for being trans, isn't it more about the way they're living their life than just their identity? I don't know. I hate essentializing trans to just an identity. I don't think it works. But then trans itself is not an identity, even though people do actually literally identify as trans. I don't know. I've been watching quite a few of these things, but of this person's like debates and shit like that, conversations. And the worldview is completely batshit.
Stopped from playing pool for the women's team. Then she lost a discrimination claim fighting for her case, but now she's been allowed to appeal. And this is a firm message to...
Yeah, it's a complete waste of time and money. Just play fucking pool with men. What's the fucking problem? Is this like white people problem shit? I'm always going on about how like we're being genocided because we're not allowed in sports. What about fucking healthcare and shit? Why don't you care about the stuff that matters? Why isn't Helen Webberley getting a fucking consent model, a healthcare model correct? Instead of going on about like trans women in women's sport, you know? Like, stick to your lane. That's the problem. She wants to be like famous and she wants to be like a fucking trans activist at the same time as being someone who handles like healthcare. It's just such a terrible mixture.
To anybody facing discrimination, that you must keep fighting for your rights.
Disagree with that. Pick your battles. This person's a fucking idiot.
Well done, Harriet Haynes.
Oh, ghoulish.
Good on you, Erica Hilton. There is no place for transphobia in
oh, wow.
this world, and we should call it out, shout it out, call it out, and take it to the highest places and
This is just her congratulating various people that do lawsuits and shit, or do activism.
I'm pretty sure stalking.
Remember that streamer that said they need to be with... Oh, Jesus Christ. Look like fucking Jeremy out of that episode, that season of Hell's Kitchen. The guy who... They did a breakfast service as a challenge, and they had like sample plates of what they had to like recreate as the dishes, and he brought up the fucking sample plate. That's what that person looks like. Like, what the fuck women are like sitting around hanging out with people like that? I just don't think that's a thing, but...
Stalking of any nature. I'm pretty sure stalking of any nature or form is not allowed, and that's what this feels
Wait, is it stalking if it's security and they have reason to think that someone is up to something? I mean, it really depends on the actual story.
It's like to me, stalking. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Yuck.
Awful. Ugh. I'm pretty sure stalking of any nature or form is not allowed. And that's what this feels like to me. Stalking. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Have a good one, Alden. Oh, picture.
So apparently the new chair of Stonewall, Dugdale, has actually been praising J.K. Rowling.
Oh no.
Now, I don't think praising anybody who has anti-trans, anti-gay, anti-religious, anti-race views is okay.
Oh, it's any of those. I was about to say, I don't remember J.K. Rowling being anti-gay, but sure.
It's not okay to praise them in any shape, way or form.
Not okay to praise someone who Helen doesn't like.
And it's not okay to have them as part of your organisation because you're backing that person to lead your organisation and the public are counting on you for your organisation.
You know, one day we'll stop caring about who someone fucking retweeted or who someone fucking follows or who someone once said, hey, I think they're right about something.
To be inclusive, equal for everybody, in praise of diversity. And this doesn't match that.
Wait, so how are you inclusive if every time someone says something you don't like, you then don't want anyone who's even remotely praised that person in any kind of position of power ever? That's not very inclusive.
So,
whoa.
Oh my God, what a numpty. One man, one woman, one mummy, one daddy, no gay people, no trans people. Retire. One woman, one...
Nuclear family month. Wow. Don't know why you care about this. Sounds like some batshit evangelical lawmaker bringing in some shit that's never gonna get in.
Look how grim these women are, cheering on discrimination and exclusion when they themselves...
That this? Yeah, it must be. So a lesbian group wants to be able to exclude trans people. Okay, wow. I know the problem is, like, sex kind of has to be one of the protected characteristics, and sex means, like, biological sex. It doesn't mean gender identity. It doesn't mean how you live your life or anything like that. It doesn't mean what you're known as. I don't know why we can't kind of have it both ways and let lesbian groups decide if they're trans inclusive or not, and then the trans people can go to the inclusive ones. Because there'd always be inclusive ones, I think. Someone starts up an exclusionary thing that's just for female people and no one else. You know someone else is going to be around the corner setting something else up that is inclusive, and that's fine, you know. I don't see the problem with stuff like this. I don't honestly care. Some women only want to be around other women, then okay, sure. I guess we're not going to be best friends at your event because I'm not going to be welcome and I can't be asked going anyway.
Have in the past and...
Not a lesbian, by the way.
Look how grim these women are.
Oh, Helen's not a pick-me. Helen's like a grifter. Helen makes money off of trans people, so of course she's like pushing as much of this shit as much as possible. Sorry.
Look how grim these women are, cheering on discrimination and exclusion when they themselves have in the past and still face bias and prejudice and discrimination.
I think they feel that some of their discrimination they face includes you have to allow male people into your events even though you're a lesbian group.
I just don't get it.
Of course she doesn't. This is what I mean. There's so much like shit on here.
April 20th, Stress Awareness Month. How does systemic stress impact trans patients differently? It can be quite stressful being trans, I get that. Do you know, I just think surround yourself with people who love you, people who understand you, and those ones that don't understand you, give them a chance, but not forever. Sometimes you have to say, you need to move aside from my life until you can be respectful, because it's quite stressful. April.
Wow. Who's this?
Jenny Bishop. She had a house that trans women would go to after surgery to be looked after because they weren't being looked after properly. And they had to make it themselves, and they weren't nurses or healthcare professionals, but
It's my YouTube.
they had learned what to do and how to look after them. So this community...
I'm guessing this is a trans woman. Hang on. I'm guessing I'm expected to call this person a she.
So this community with mothers and daughters and grandparents and
Sisters
doctors and nurses and psychologists and prescribers, I'm like, goodness.
Well, I'm a woman, innit?
Goodness gracious. And it's lovely, but also I kind of think I wish we could just have it mainstream as well. I wish the world was accepting enough that we could just be mainstream about this. Jenny.
Wow.
I like this one. Gender identity doesn't pick and choose, and whether your life, your social circumstances, your family...
Is that Jesus Christ, dude? Oh, there's no pictures on this version.
The spirit of inclusion is at the heart of this church.
It really is a community that is centered on loving kindness and welcoming.
I wonder what sex this person is.
Everyone.
To have a place that sees you and celebrates you is what led Pastor Philippa Phaneuf to share her news.
I grew up in a very conservative mindset, didn't even have any words whatsoever about transgender growing up. It's been a real interesting journey trying to a clarity about gender identity, and where I'm at with all of that.
Coming out to the church.
I get to announce with joy that I'm transitioning. I'm affirming and saying to all of you that I am transgender. And so the best way to put this is that I'm not becoming a woman, I'm giving up pretending to be a man.
And publicly broadcasting the service.
And this is going to be shocking for...
So we get the always been a woman shit. I wish people would stop saying stuff like this. Okay, so Isla Bryson's always a woman. Like when they were raping people, that was always a woman doing that, was it? Fuck off.
Some of us.
Receiving both support, but also public scrutiny from millions of viewers across the world.
I don't take that personally because they don't know me. The heartfelt messages that have come in have just been so meaningful because they're authentic. By my coming out has garnered a safe space for them.
Pastor Phaneuf is one of the dozens of church leaders across the nation that has publicly come out. According to the Church Pension Group, more than 25% of church leaders ordained between 2010 and 2021 identified as LGBTQ+. However, their experience can widely vary due to the conservative denominations that officially restrict their ordination.
I was not chosen to be their pastor based off of gender, based off of appearance, based off of any of the things that were going to change. So my preaching style was going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to change is that I might possibly look prettier on screen, right?
However, one thing is for certain. Pastor Phaneuf hopes to continue to make her church not only a space of worship, but a safe space as well.
And we would love to have other people join us in that from all walks, that this is a safe space.
Adriana Lowe, Spectrum News.
Wow. Oh, so it's literally just the text. Yeah, good luck to him, I guess. I don't know.
Family, your country, embrace gender diversity.
I don't care about this. This fucking fake.
Shall I tell you the other thing that really gets on my nerves? People from minority groups that once faced discrimination and actually still do, handing out the discrimination themselves.
Oh, she's talking about that Jennifer Melee person who got in trouble initially for not calling a paedophile prisoner by she, her. This is what I mean. Why do we die on these fucking hills, bro? This is what we need more of. More trans activism, more cis people speaking up to complain that this woman called a paedophile a he and not a she. Like, fuck that. Disgusting. It was this thing here. So she was like investigated and then went to the media about it. So got like suspended. This nurse. Like from an African country and like presumably like religious and stuff from what I remember. I did watch stuff about this at the time. And she was like racially abused. That doesn't matter, I guess. That doesn't matter. What did this so-called trans woman look like? Like maybe it was reasonable to call this person a mister. And the fact that they're like a nonce. Why would you defend that? I hate these people so fucking much, dude.
Shall I tell you the other thing that really gets on my nerves? People from minority groups that once faced...
I tell you what the first thing that gets on her nerves is, by the way, medical regulations.
discrimination, and actually still do, handing out the discrimination themselves.
Oh no, discrimination. Are we discriminated against a paedophile? Oh no.
I really don't like the reporting on this. Trans paedophile.
Oh, it's a two-parter.
Humans are humans. They deserve respect, whatever they've...
Okay, suddenly we shouldn't be calling them trans. When they're a paedophile, we shouldn't mention they're trans? So, like, when should and when shouldn't we?
Done, whatever punishment they are facing, whatever crime they have committed, these are human beings. That's what I was taught as a doctor. People deserve to be respected. If they commit a crime, they are punished. But to call them that and to...
This is like a TRA cliche, this whole... well, they might have done bad things, but do you have to misgender them? Like, what? Who is telling you? Who is telling you there's something you need to do? Oh, fuck.
I really don't like the reporting on this. Trans paedophile. Humans are humans. They deserve...
Besides anything else, isn't this the fucking Telegraph? Yes, it's the Telegraph. What do you expect from the fucking Telegraph? Like, just read the fucking BBC like everyone else then. Telegraph is for gammons. Yeah, they're gonna mention there's a trans paedophile. I read something in the Telegraph and it offended me. Well, what's the first problem there? It's probably that you're reading the fucking Telegraph.
Deserve respect, whatever they've done, whatever punishment they are facing, whatever crime they have committed. These are human beings. That's what I was taught as a doctor. People deserve...
Yeah, you should respect paedophiles' gender identities. That's what she's saying.
Deserve to be respected. If they commit a crime, they are punished. But to call them that and to highlight their gender identity as part of it, it's just disgusting. I really don't like the reporting on this.
Wow.
April 18th, question for the community. Why do we trust patients in most healthcare decisions, but question them here?
Is this, like, true at all? The way she does her stuff is, like, she believes that your gender is whatever you say it is. So there's no screening at all. So anyone that comes to this person saying, oh, well, I'm male, but I identify as female and I want to transition, you're going to get hormones and it's going to take like a few months, like maximum. Not in the UK, because she can't practice here, thank fuck. So her kind of thing is, oh, we don't just let people self-ID their way into getting hormones straight away. So I'm going to do that as my business model. But like, do we trust patients that way for most things except trans? I don't think that's true at all. Like, if you want to get hold of like medical marijuana, you can't just fucking ask for it. You know, like, I think there's usually a bit more, like, going on, you know?
I know, right? Can you imagine? Not asking the right questions, not listening, not hearing, not believing in
These people ask basically no questions when they get new patients.
any other field of medicine. I can't breathe, doctor. I'm asthmatic. I can't breathe. Don't believe you. I'm a heart patient.
This isn't how it works, by the way. Don't know where we're saying this is where it works. This is how it works. We're advocating for less screening, but there's no screening on this person's behalf anyway. And there isn't really any screening on the NHS. It's just the wait time.
And I've got chest pain and it's really hurting here. Don't believe you. I've got a really bad tummy ache and I wonder whether I might have appendicitis.
And her whole thing is, well, believe the patients. Bank on them being correct about their gender identity, which not everyone is, by the way. That's why detransitioners exist. And then just take all the money, reap all the rewards, and, you know, when questioned about anything, be difficult, you know.
Don't believe you. Fell over and broke my arm and it's hanging off at a funny angle. Don't believe you. Get my point?
I actually hate this person. How long do I need to do this for, man? I don't know. I'm kind of crossing things off at this point. I actually have, like, most of a script right now. It's just making sure that all the points are made well and making sure there's nothing obvious that I've missed. Because I get really paranoid. I make a video. I'm like, there has to be, like, some really obvious shit that I'm not saying or that I've missed. It's going to drive me fucking insane. Harriet Haynes again. Oh, that's a picture.
Discrimination, not okay. You're not allowed to go to work, tell your boss you're trans and then get fired, and for them to get away with it. Not allowed to go.
What even is this article? HR dive. Yeah, women are like, fucking hell, man. My partner's been, like, disbelieved more times than I can fucking count. She has all these, like, pain issues, and she only ever gets things like fucking fibromyalgia. She, like, sought an autism diagnosis fucking ages ago and was given, like, BPD instead. And it's only, like, more recently that she's gotten, like, an actual diagnosis. Like, patients aren't believed all the fucking time, especially female ones. That's just true. It is crazy pretending that, like, trans people uniquely are the ones that get told that, oh no, maybe that's not correct, maybe it's something else, when actually that barely happens at all. It's crazy to pretend that, like, that's the sole area where patients are not believed about something. It's crazy. I think this person, Helen, is making bank on the back of that. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, it's like, it's completely true. Like, you hear about women getting, like, disbelieved all the time. It's fucking nuts. Wait, so what was this? So someone came out as trans and then was fired a week later for bringing morale down. This does sound like it might be bullshit, to be fair. Unless there's a specific reason they're going to give. Actually, no, they were doing this and this brought the mood down. As in, like, I don't know, threatening to self-delete on the job constantly or some shit. Yeah, this might be genuinely bullshit, to be fair. This looks suspicious. Oh, I don't know. It's possible that not this one. It's possible that what she's talking about is kind of bullshit, to be fair. Where were we? of her.
April 17th. Does visibility increasing always mean safety increasing?
Nope, absolutely not.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because if we don't have visibility, we're not going to get understanding, because people won't, if you can't see it, you don't understand it. But then to be visible, you've got to be accepted and safe. And how can you be accepted and safe if people are scared and they don't understand it? So it's a bit of a vicious circle. So be visible, but only if it's safe for you. Look after yourself, Bert.
Wow.
I'm going to give you my take on this. We do need to count data respectfully and responsibly, because we need it for research, for audit, to make sure that the outcomes are correct for the person involved, and also to make improvements to service capacity. Look what happened with the NHS. No counting was done. No one realised that the services were going to be so overwhelmed. Well, they did, but they just didn't do anything about it. So yes, we need counting, but we need to do it responsibly and we need to do it respectfully, so that the people who benefit from that counting, the trans people receiving care.
It shouldn't be about it benefiting people. Like, it should first be about, like, what's true, surely. And then should be used in a way to benefit people.
Get what they need. I'm going to give you my take on this.
Yeah, no, I guess I broadly agree. I don't know.
You see, the thing is, the only way that any guidance is going to work and help people and be followed is if it follows the law. And the law says you're not allowed to discriminate. It's so clear. Just go back to basics. Gender reassignment exists. Trans people exist. Trans women.
Yeah, the problem is these idiots never, like, there's like a clash. Like, women are supposed to be guaranteed certain single-sex spaces. So then that means you're going to have to discriminate against certain people that can't access those spaces on the basis that they're male. These people never these people like missing the point, like, intentionally, I guess. Because someone like this is not stupid. They've obviously thought of stuff like this. They just skip over it when it's convenient.
Gender reassignment exists.
That does exist, but it doesn't always take precedent depending on what the situation is.
Trans people exist, trans women are women, trans men are men,
A man is just anyone that identifies as a man to this person, by the way.
non-binary people need rights too, and then
What the fuck rights do non-binary people need? Especially in conjunction with, like, guidance for spaces and stuff.
your guidance will be easy to make. You can always ask and I'll help you.
Yuck. She seems like she either is very influenced by politicians or really wants to be one, I'm not sure. But, like, the idea that after everything, that someone like Helen Webberley would be, like, consulted on anything to do with trans is, like, fucking ludicrous. Like, this person, when they operated in the UK with Gender GP, like, they were flagrantly disregarding, like, regulations. And then when they're threatened with, like, action, it's like, oh, well, you're putting our patients at risk. It's like, aren't you putting your patients at risk by not carrying out care that conforms with, like, the country you're operating in's, like, standards and stuff? Isn't that your fault? Aren't you supposed to follow those rules and then provide the care so that you're not going to get in those problems in the first place? I don't know.
April 16th. How do you personally stay resilient in such a politicised space? It's tricky, isn't it? There's a lot of hate out there. Do you know what? I don't read any of it. I sometimes see people and they say...
That's cool. That means I can say whatever the fuck I want in my video about her and she's not going to watch it anyway. So, yeah, sick.
...me, I've been standing up for
that is a joke. I'm not gonna like fucking lie. I don't do that kind of thing.
...you online and I've been commenting with that person and I'm like... Please don't. They're just bullies. They're nasty. They're horrible. You're never going to get through to them. Spend your time educating those who want to listen and spend your time giving love to those who need it. That's what I do.
Yes, and making money off the trans community.
April 15th, question for the community. Who gets to define what appropriate care looks like? Oh my goodness, how much would you like to be on the panel that decides the protocol and policy for NHS healthcare in GP surgeries, hospitals, trusts, specialist gender clinics? Can you imagine if you were actually invited on the panel to tell them what you wanted? Wouldn't that be amazing? Tell me what you want.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Tell us below. Let's see if we can.
She's almost like implying that she'd be like included in something like no, definitely not. This person isn't even a licensed doctor in the UK. She wouldn't just be able to come back and immediately start being a GP again. Her husband was struck off. She appealed and her suspension was lifted, but then she didn't renew her license, so it got cancelled anyway. It's almost implying that she's like, you know, involved in some way. Oh, tell us what you want them to do. It's like, well, it's got nothing to do with you anyway, right?
Can spread the word, make it easier for them.
Yeah, they're not gonna fucking listen to you. Like batshit, man.
April 15th, question for the community. And what appropriate care looks like. Oh my goodness, how much would you like to be on the panel that decides the protocol and policy for NHS healthcare?
She's wishing that was her, 100%. It's never gonna happen. NHS fucking hates you, sorry about it.
Nick Timothy and Rebecca Paul, the trans debate is far from over. What we still need to decide.
Still shouting at the Telegraph, I'm guessing? Can't tell, it looks like the Telegraph.
Is the fate of people like you.
Oh yeah, no, it's linked, it is the Telegraph.
Who break the law in protecting the rights of people who have reassigned their gender, and people like you who feel it's acceptable.
Yeah, to her, reassigning their gender just means identifying. That's all it means.
To refer from over. What we still need to decide is the fate of people like you who break the law in protecting the rights of people who have reassigned their gender, and people like you who feel it's acceptable to refer to a sector of women as men.
Massive who cares?
That's disgraceful, and that debate is coming to you, my.
So she's suggesting they broke the law by calling these people men. Okay.
I've seen some headlines. Boots selling trans drugs despite fears of harm to children. Or,
I've really got it in for the Telegraph. I don't like the Telegraph either.
Actually, is it? Boots are dispensing legal medication to patients following a doctor's prescription. I've seen some headlines. Boots selling trans drugs despite fear.
By the way, it says headlines love fear. Reality's a bit less dramatic. This person has some video being like, they want to destroy all trans people and they're not hiding it. And like you watch the video and it's nothing of that nature is said. It's gonna fuck with me. It's to under 18s. I mean, it's possible that she's kinda correct about this shitty article. I'm just trying to find a version of this article I can actually look at. Let's deny it. Annoying. I don't know. Yeah, it says to children. It depends if it means like 16 plus, because I think you have to be 16 to get onto like HRT at the moment. What is it? Well, currently they're restricted to... But this might be new, new prescriptions. So some children, it might still be legal to provide HRT to, as long as that person is coming with like a valid prescription and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it's the Telegraph. What do you expect? What do you expect? Do I have gammon fatigue? I've had gammon fatigue for a long time. The reason I'm not the reason I'm not covering auditors very much is kind of two things. Partly because they're not doing a whole lot that's interesting right now. And partly because when I cover them, I get, like, copyright struck. When I made that Hannah Spencer video, it's like one of the best things I've made, and it got like 500 views because it got copyright struck to fucking hell. So I don't really know how to cover that kind of stuff right now, if that makes sense. I did cover the Wesley Winter thing and a bit of Young Bob on my last stream, so that stuff does come up, you know.
April 13th, spring theme. What does growth look like in gender identity and self-acceptance? Growth. Is that growth in understanding about your own identity, what it means to you, and how you can portray yourself in the world? Is growth the developments, your physical change?
That first version sounds like navel gazing, but sure.
As you transition? Or maybe is growth the understanding of those people around you? Understanding of something that might have been hard to understand in the beginning, but it's becoming more clear now.
Saying nothing of value. Oh, this was from... I watched this.
Just hearing her speak right now, I'm just like, she's literally...
Yeah, we're on this Dr. Hillary Jones thing. Apparently this guy's a massive fucking hack. I don't know much about him. I know. Mischief knows more about this guy than I do. She's on this show by this Dr. Hillary Jones person with this person.
Reading my thoughts at this point and just...
If I was a catty and mean person, then what I would say here is that, you know, it's a shame Gender GP doesn't offer voice training. But I'm not a catty person, so I'm not saying that.
Wording them so nicely.
I've always said that I wish everybody could have a psychologist in their back pocket for when we need one, because life is tricky.
They don't have psychologists at Gender GP either, by the way. Often, in some of the court documents I've read, some of these people, some of them being kids as well, they're getting hormones after talking to, like, counselors. Like, they're not actually really being, like, psychologically evaluated. And of course they're not getting physically evaluated because almost none of them actually see anyone. They just talk to someone over Skype or Zoom or whatever. So, I mean, she says this. It's almost like she's trying to answer for something she's actually been criticised for.
Everybody could have a psychologist in their back pocket for when we need one, because life is tricky. Life is tricky whether you're trans, cis, gay, straight, black, white, whatever. Life can be tricky. And I think sometimes I feel we're using psychologists and counsellors in the wrong way. It's almost like, oh, you're trans, right? You must go and see a counsellor or psychologist. Come out when you're done. And it's what we should be saying is, how are you? How is life? How are you getting on? Do you need any support with your life? Not validating whether you're trans or not, but do you need some support with your life? How can we make your life easier, better, more successful? So I'm a massive fan of counselling, CBT, psychology, but I think we should be using it to make people's lives better, not to validate people's gender identity.
So much virtue signaling. It actually makes me feel sick. It's fucking gross. If nothing else, this is like more motivation to finish my video and make it as good as I can. I can't fucking stand this person. It's so painful to listen to. You just know, like, she loves carting out these, like, kind of pet troons that she has and shit as well. There was another one.
It must be lovely to have...
Excuse me. What the fuck was it? Shit. I think it was something that, fuck. Yeah, we watched it. We watched it on stream. It was something that Helen Joyce said about, like, older trans women that are weirdly invested in, like, kids transitioning and stuff. But she brought this like pet troon with her to some interview or something, and they would literally do it. That literally was what it was. It was crazy.
A doctor from Abergavenny is currently being investigated.
Am I doing a boss battle level video on Helen Webberley? If that's kind of what you consider my brains video, I guess. It's on a similar level to that. I'm hoping less than half an hour. Just get out all the stuff I want to get out. And that's about it. What was it this person was talking about?
These hormones, if the long-term effects aren't known.
Like, it is just objectively true that you get these like older trans women that are way too invested in like in kids transitioning because they wish they could have passed better. And a lot of them have kids, so the inference is, well, you know, you could have transitioned as a kid and never had your own kids, but sure.
Do you think this is a road we should be going down?
I think that what Helen prescribes more usually are hormone blockers, and hormone blockers are a pause button. Hormone blockers allow
not functionally what they end up being.
Children the time to consider their options.
So that effectively delays puberty.
Exactly. I mean, the blockers were originally developed for...
The other thing is, we always say that blockers are reversible and that you just resume puberty. But there's kind of a window of where your brain is a lot more plastic and you kind of... It prunes a lot of, like, you know, connections that are made and kind of reinforces certain ones or whatever. And we don't actually really know how much delaying your puberty kind of affects that, whether it kind of happens anyway, but then you're not having the hormones you would. What little research there is into this suggests that it actually suggests that there's a loss of like IQ points and certain mental faculties, but there's very little research on it. So to say that it's fully reversible when there's so much stuff we don't know is just really, really what's the word? Not inconsiderate. Irresponsible. There you go.
Precocious puberty. So they're normally prescribed to kids as young as 4 or 5, which prevents puberty at such an inappropriate age. So Helen's prescribing those much later.
Yeah, why do so many middle-aged trans women know so much about this? It's so weird.
Than they're normally used, to allow a transgender child to have time to be utterly sure that what they want to do is transition. It's not an easy path for anyone.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I'll be asked with this.
Calling all HR professionals. What does your workplace policy say? Are you inclusive? Are trans people's rights and privacy maintained in your organisation? Do you employ trans people? Try it, they're beautiful. Call.
Oh, I hate, it's the pandering, man. I feel like not enough people, especially trans people, like, it's almost, you always wonder if it's part of it. Fuck, sorry. I need to get my thoughts together on what I'm saying here. So we're convincing trans people that their lives are like so much worse than they actually are, and that, you know, oh, the government's literally gonna fucking genocide you and stuff like that, when it's not true. And then the same people that push that kind of thing are also pandering pretty hard to those people, as if to be like, well, I'm the person you can trust, I'm the good guy, I'm the one you should be like, you know, throwing your lot in with, I'll save you and stuff like that. But they're the ones making people feel like their life is so much worse than it is in the first place. Like, I wish more people would understand how manipulative it comes across. Like, pandering this hard at the same time as reinforcing like narratives about things like genocide that are just patently untrue. And pushing so much like pseudoscience and bullshit around like trans procedures and stuff. And not even actually doing your job very well as a healthcare professional. It's disgusting to me. It really is. But when I hear pandering, it instantly makes me suspicious, you know? I feel like that's not a very normal thing. I think a lot of people get manipulated very easily, unfortunately.
April 12th, question for the community. Why is trans healthcare still treated as optional rather than essential? It's just nuts, isn't it? Why are we having this debate? Like, do you know what I think? If you didn't want to develop breasts and hips and softer skin, you wouldn't take estrogen. And do you know what? If you didn't want to grow a beard and for your voice to break, you wouldn't take testosterone. It's not like someone's forcing you to do it. You want to do it because you want your hormones to match your gender identity.
That's not why you take HRT. It's not to make your hormones match your gender identity. That's complete bollocks. You take hormones so that you resemble the opposite sex because you want to be known as the opposite sex.
And I don't understand why doctors don't understand that.
Because it's bullshit and it's just not fucking true.
I started getting into drag. So like being a drag queen, being in feminine clothing. When I first put it on,
clothing,
there was a sense of euphoria. The presentation of being like super feminine expanded more than just personality.
I'm so confused by this person's accent. Where the fuck are they from? They're called Neve, but like spelt like in an anglicized way. What the fuck is this person's accent? This is like weirder than Young Bob.
If I was to be gay, then what would you say? And his response wasn't so like 100% like thumbs up. It was more so trying to understand.
Like I'm hearing Scouse, and then I'm hearing Brummy, and then I'm hearing Welsh, and then I'm hearing like Thames Estuary or whatever. I'm so confused. There's about 5 different accents all like fighting for control. I realize I can't talk. I have the weirdest fucking accent ever. But like, what's happening here?
And process the realities of like potentially having a queer child. So then, because it wasn't so much 100% at first, I still kept it in a little bit longer. But then I did come to a point where enough was enough of hiding, and I do need to tell my dad that this is who I am. And he said that.
I mean, if they're half Asian, they're very, very white. Like, she just looks like a white person. Like, I don't know. You'd think if they were foreign, they'd have like a foreign name. I'm so confused.
He loves me no matter what. He will accept me. And
they're saying wah. That's a Scouse thing. If you say love, you're probably from like Birmingham or above. So they're probably not from down south.
And it was just quite
You reckon they're Welsh?
evident over time since then that he was still learning while accepting. So it wasn't...
That sounded quite Welsh.
That he wasn't against anything. It was just a matter of him taking time to like be very open.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was 16 and I started getting into drag. So like being a drag queen.
I'm starting to hear Wales more. Hang on. Wait.
So my name is Neve. I am of age 23 and I am from Coventry.
That ain't in Wales. They sound Midlands, but like via about 20 different places. Maybe that's just a thing if you're from Coventry. You just have a confusing accent. I don't know.
I expensive. But then someone who I was friends with at the time had announced that they had been approved for a HRT through Gender GP. And I was like, oh my goodness. Gender GP organises like prescriptions. I thought they were just more for like counselling or anything like that. I didn't know medical care was also offered. So I was like, I think I need to explore.
I don't know. I grew up somewhere near where this person is from, and I do not remember anyone talking like this, but I don't know. I'll stop hyper-analyzing this person's accent. I'm so sorry. Listen, no offense to this person, even though she's on Helen Webberley's fucking dick. Apart from that, no offense to you. I'm sure you're lovely, etc., etc.
Policymakers in Mississippi. I've watched movies about the discrimination that you have allowed in history and that you allow today. Shame on you. And to the trans people,
this is going to change anything.
People living there, just remember you are valid and loved by a huge number of people.
Pandering, pandering, pandering. Oh, look, a bad thing. Let me swoop in. I mean, it sounds like a Midlands accent trying to sound Essex. Listen. I didn't know what the fuck I was hearing there. I'm still confused now. I'm just trying to move on because it's probably not super interesting.
What do we actually mean by the menopause? Meno normally is associated with
means when you press pause on a Mr. Menu video. Oh.
Menstruation or menses or menopause, and we think of ladies in their 50s. But actually, don't forget, we can get the male menopause as well. And
what's male menopause? Yeah, and she says the kind of male, like, she pretends as fervently as she can that sex just doesn't really exist and doesn't matter, which is just silly, to be honest. Male menopause. Okay, your testosterone drops slowly and you don't get hard as often and you get tired. There we go.
Actually, what it means is it's just that your ovaries or testicles are just not producing the hormones anymore.
So presumably I'll never go through male menopause or female menopause, which is based. More people should transition.
And that causes problems. And of course, that's what we do with trans people who want to switch their hormones. We take away those hormones. We stop the testes and ovaries producing their hormone, which is wrong for them, and then we give them the right hormone instead. So that's really important. But one of the most important things is if you stop your ovaries and testicles producing hormones, whether that happens naturally or from surgery or from taking medicines, it's really important that you replace those hormones.
It's true enough.
April 11th. Is there a moment last month that reminded you why this matters? Do you know, I get so many messages every day. I try and get through them all, but there's so many. And all of them mean so much to me, even the tiny ones that just a little heart, and some of them just say such beautiful things. I changed their life, or I helped them understand, or I made their day better. Amazing. April 11th.
Oh, she gets off on it.
And here is a personal message to the DRA. Be very careful that your blanket exclusion is lawful.
You know, and people constantly complain that, like, you know, trans activists don't get their way. They start threatening and, like, shaming and stuff. And that's just kind of further off-putting. I wonder if that kind of thing will come up in that Buck Angel debate.
Be very sure that you have to exclude.
It is actually really fucking annoying that that's happening on Thursday. Because now I'm still like, I don't know whether I should wait and then watch that, but then I don't know. The thing is, there's a debate with Buck Angel. It's probably just going to be the dumbest shit imaginable. This person is like painful to listen to in debates because she just kind of picks every tiny thing she can. It's always about the kind of pedantries and stuff, and it's always about avoiding getting into as much as possible.
every single trans woman to achieve whatever it is you are trying to achieve, and make sure that what it is that you are trying to achieve, and make sure that what it is that you are trying to achieve will actually be achieved by doing this.
God, why does she sound so angry? It's like some trans person getting fucking excluded from darts. Like, who cares? Again, why aren't these people just able to play with the men? What would be the problem there? Effectively retired her. So you're not actually effectively retired. These people pretend that there's only one option, but why is there only one option? I don't know, getting angry over shit like this is so dumb. Like, who fucking cares? One person isn't allowed to play darts with women anymore. Okay.
To achieve will actually be achieved.
Like, she's really getting pissed off.
By doing this. That's the legal test for exclusion. And if it's something like excluding all trans women will ensure that there is no unfairness from physical strength amongst the women's team.
Well, no, it'll help ensure as much fairness as possible. It's never going to be perfect. You're making out that the aim here is to make it completely perfect because you got rid of, like, male people. Then no one's saying that, and anyone is like, stupid.
Then it's bollocks.
Well, if it's this completely bastardized version of your argument, then it's bollocks. Yeah, it probably is bollocks, but no one's saying that, are they? Oh, hi, PT Salty. I have a Twitch chatter. It's crazy. Must
So
be
they
my lucky
asked the
day. Excuse me. Calm down.
So they asked the real people in America what they thought of trans people,
The real people as opposed to...
trans acceptance, trans rights. And of course, the majority said, of course we accept them. And you know what? We must remember it's that...
I mean, this I can buy. Obviously, it depends what it is. Like, with someone like this, the thing you have to be suspicious of is she's probably trying to get through things like trans kids and trans women in women's sports in amongst all of the rest of this, when actually people are broadly against that kind of thing. They probably just think that trans people should in general have rights. And to be fair, there isn't like a right to women's sports, or there shouldn't be. Yeah, what is this actually? This is the most nothing article ever. This is just saying what the... It's not going into any detail. This is the worst article I've ever seen. Okay, whatever. GCN.ie. Oh, Irish. Jesus Christ. Like an Irish journalist making fucking money for nothing. Ah, fair enough. That broadly support transgender equality. So that doesn't mean like every single thing, every single like every issue. Connected. Yeah, I mean, this is all, I agree with all these too, that's the thing. I would literally say, strongly agree to all of these, but that doesn't mean that I support every tiny thing. It doesn't mean that I support things like trans kids or things like transitioning kids, not trans kids. Things like trans women in women's sports. Yeah, there's nothing in here. This is just... This is what I mean. I think these kinds of people, the reason someone like this will highlight this is because it says so little that she can just say it to mean this includes everything that I advocate for, but that's really not the case.
teeny weeny nasty minority.
Like, most of the people that she fucking argues with on fucking Twitter all the time probably agree with the sentiments there, because it's not getting into specific things that they disagree with, you know?
That have a very big voice. But the majority of people, just good, honest people, everybody's welcome.
Wow. I mean, in essence, I kind of agree. Like, most of my experiences, like being out working around people and stuff, is that people aren't broadly transphobic. Like, it depends what kind of person you are. You wonder how many people that complain about how much transphobia they've experienced have gone out being quite unreasonable in how they're portrayed and how people see them and stuff. But I don't think for the most part that's the case.
April 9th, question for the community. What resources or support made the biggest difference in your journey? What made a difference to you? Let's put it.
Oh, so she wants people to say, oh, you, Helen, oh, Gender GP. There was this service actually called Gender GP, and they really helped me.
In the comments below so that other people who are delivering healthcare can actually try and get it right.
It's just so dodgy. She doesn't get much community engagement. I mean, maybe I should feel bad, I don't know. It's all just people like, it's the same person is commenting on like everything. I mean, there's like pathological as fuck. It's like weird. My guess is she wanted people to like shout her out and stuff. Oof.
I love this. All different shapes and sizes, all different colours, all different voices. That's the beauty of human diversity.
Please, for the love of God, stop with the hate to queer people, trans people that started later on in their journey.
Exactly.
If their voice is lower, their voice is lower, so what?
It's never too soon or too late to be yourself. Amen, sister.
I love this. All different shapes.
Wow.
April 8th. What's something clinicians often overlook when supporting trans patients? Is it just down to autonomy? The person who knows their gender identity best is that person in front of you. I know you have to do that diagnosis.
Wait, hold up.
Overlook when supporting trans patients. Is it just down to autonomy? The person.
So patient autonomy, i.e., the patient making the decision. Again, that's literally her model. There was like almost no like vetting. You don't even have to speak to a doctor at Gender GP, or certainly there's been people that's been their experience.
The person who knows their gender identity best.
And this isn't always true, by the way. Some people might know their gender identity, but it makes no fucking sense with the person that's in front of you, you know? Like if someone identifies as a woman but doesn't know what a woman is, are they a woman? People are wrong about their own identities all the time. People are wrong about themselves all the time. I don't know if she'll say it here. She said something. She said the same kind of thing. But it was like, oh, people know best who they are. Well, it's like, well, a very arrogant person might very well refer to themselves as humble, you know? A gay man in the closet might well refer to themselves as straight, even though it's not true, but they're still identifying that way. Sometimes a person is the one that knows them best, but not always. And it's dangerous to assume that's always the case.
Is that person in front of you? I know you have to do that diagnosis thing because you have to get the diagnosis in order to give the treatment because that's what doctors do. But understanding that person's gender identity, ask them how they identify. Ask them how they see the world and how they want the world to see them. April.
Wow. So she did all of these videos on the same day, I'm guessing. She's got the same like hair-covered top. Like hair's in all the same places. So this must have been like a bulk. This must have been a bulk recording day. Oh, I better get all my weird pandery fucking videos for Twitter done. I'll just block out an hour and just go one after another.
April 6th. Question for the community. What does respectful care look like to you in practice? Oh my goodness, I can think of so many, but I want to hear yours. Is it just being called by your right name? Is it your pronouns? Is it having the right space? Is it being offered the right screening? Is it being respected in the waiting room? Is it being not laughed at when you have a big tummy and you're a man?
I don't think there's ever been... I don't think she's posted any of these that have had an actual community response. It's crazy. It's all just like... I mean, like, the child abuse stuff, I try and err away from, but at the same time, I don't like what this person does.
With a baby in it. I'm just interested. What does it...
Fucking weirdo. These are getting boring. I don't know if I need to skip a bit further down. You couldn't possibly be pandering. Oh yeah, no, I've never thought about it like that, actually.
What would you like to say to that nurse if you were to ever see her again?
She saved my life. I was in hospital after...
She loves these appeals to emotion. There was another thing I was thinking about. Yeah, she tends to base her knowledge and sort of expresses herself as like an expert in trans based on having spoken to a lot of trans people. But on a podcast, a person is likely to kind of exaggerate in certain ways to like really sell the story. If you're calling a doctor about some treatment you want, you're probably going to exaggerate like how you feel and like your symptoms and whatever else. You kind of wonder how many of the stories that Helen Webberley bases her like beliefs on and stuff, and how much of what she's been told by trans people, you kind of wonder how much of it is kind of exaggerated or kind of retconned almost in order to give it more legitimacy. Because at the end of the day, they want care, right? They want a specific health care. And whether or not you actually need to convince someone like Helen Webberley that you're trans, which you really don't, because she'll just believe anything, you're still probably gonna like exaggerate it, you know?
Pretty serious attempt, and I was up at 2 a.m. talking.
So yeah, you wonder how like heavily biased and like warped her view of all of this is by virtue of the kinds of people she talks to and in what setting.
With a nurse who was just like, what is going on? And at that point I was just like, I hate being a woman, but I'm a parent. I've been with my partner for...
Okay, it's a bit much.
So for some reason, we have this thing that your passport has to say a gender on it, and your driving license says a gender on it, and that intake form for that club or aeroplane or something has gender on it.
Ooh, we need the action shots for this.
When actually it's nothing to do with anything, what gender identity you have. But actually, if your passport says male when you're female, it's so at odds. And
again, female to this person is an identity. There was... I can't remember what the clip was even from. She says a lot of weird things, like male and female in terms of like sexes, in terms of her being female and me being male. That shit doesn't exist. That is stuff you can identify out of. I can't remember if I have a good example of that though. Yeah, I can't remember. She conflates like woman and female and gender and sex and all this kind of stuff, like hardcore.
And the poor person who's checking your passport at the gate is like...
Yeah, like what she's saying is true if you're to make passing trans people have their birth sex on their passport. Completely true. What these people will never fucking cop to is that basically the same is true in reverse. If you're letting people that don't pass have their gender identity and not their sex on their passport. It's an issue either way, and it's difficult to know exactly where to like deal with that. Like, in some ways it makes sense to treat passing trans people as just the gender they pass as in society. But when they don't pass, it's not the same. Like, people have to actually think you're a woman. You know? Otherwise, you're not going to be regarded as one. But that's not obvious for some reason. And then people show up with like F on their passport when it's very obvious that they're a bloke. That causes its own things. It's a problem whatever happens ultimately.
It causes upset, it causes confusion. Your passport needs to match you and match who you are. And then all of a sudden in Kansas, we're like, oh, sorry, anyone who's changed their passport, anyone who's changed their driver's license.
Like, from what I remember, this was kind of bullshit. Like, they were just no notice. You can't use this driving license anymore. And it's like Kansas is a very rural area. I can't say that word properly.
Anyone who's changed their birth certificate, we're going to undo.
So yeah, there's going to be people, oh, my driving license is invalid. I'm going to have to drive somewhere to get it sorted. You know, you get pulled over. It's like, well, your driving license isn't valid anymore. It's like, well, what the fuck do you expect someone to do about it, you know?
Do it. No, they're not. Whoever would make such a ruling, such a policy, that's going to hurt so many people.
Evangelical Republicans in America, what the fuck do you expect?
And we should all be saying, no, actually, the people of Kansas deserve to have their passport, their driving license, their birth certificate, their bank account accurately reflect who they are. And
who they are, as if that's subjective, by the way.
Only person who can tell you who they are is themselves.
Except when they're wrong, or delusional, or any number of things. But then she conceives trans as around gender identity, and that being what you believe or know yourself to be. So she actually does conceive of trans as a delusion, because ultimately you are just in the belief that you're the other sex to what you are. Which can't really be an objective thing to know about oneself, if that makes sense. What's this?
So my understanding is that the scientific consensus was that if a trans woman had been engaging in hormone therapy for, I think it was between 1 and 4 years, she wouldn't enjoy any physical advantage over a cisgender woman in...
Yeah, we don't know enough to know this at all.
...sport. But the IOC are saying...
We know that strength levels are like roughly similar. And like obviously the blood hormone levels themselves would be. But there are things that don't change. There are certain advantages you will keep that will affect your performance in subtle ways. The other big thing is there's almost no, like we're talking about the ban of trans women in the Olympics. There's almost no science out there around like elite level athletes, how trans women and female athletes like compare on an elite level. There's almost none of that. There's also almost no data about specific sports. It's just like strength tests and like aerobics tests and stuff like that. But what kind of advantage a trans woman might have in any one sport at an elite level, we just basically don't know. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to have the Olympics be like trans inclusive for like trans women in women's sport.
Saying different. So what have they seen that I haven't, do you think?
Well, I think it's interesting. You said at the beginning there's lots of people celebrating this, but I think sometimes we have a very few loud people celebrating this because...
Like, what? She always picks on like the dumbest, like who cares about this?
What this is, and I think you alluded to it, is it's actually just excluding transgender women. What about transgender men? What about equality?
No one cares about trans men because they're not a threat to men's sports. There is like one trans man athlete that's done anything worth a shit, and that was someone called Chris Mosier.
Gender reassignment is a protected characteristic.
Gender reassignment is a protected characteristic. They're talking about like banning trans women from the Olympics. Does the Olympics answer to fucking UK law? I don't know about that.
You can't force people to have a test in order to enter a competition.
Did she even answer the main like thrust of this, which was about like advantage? Didn't even fucking answer. Worthless fucking clip.
What concerns me about the banning of of trans women from, for example, public bathrooms or single-sex segregated spaces is that it sort of emboldens people who think that they can always tell.
All right, I'll be back. I'll be back in just a sec. Like the stream, etc. LBC is leftist. Didn't they used to have that Nick Ferrari guy? Didn't Nigel Farage used to do something on LBC? I thought it depended on the presenter.
And you can't, can you?
No. And if you make a space for women, whether it's a bathroom or a toilet, a changing room, or a sports category, if you make a space for women, all women should be included in that space. Doesn't matter if...
Yeah, so the idea is that trans women are objectively women, which just isn't true. No one is objectively something because they identify as it. So her beliefs around trans are like just broken.
They're tall or broad or black or skinny or fat. It doesn't matter.
Like listing off a whole bunch of things that female people can be, but they can't be male. That's the whole point, you know?
But if you make a space for women, all women should be welcome in.
Now, one thing I really wonder is like, does she just like copy like TRE talking points, like rotely just, well, if trans people are saying it, then I can say it. And if there's a problem with me saying it, I can just say, well, the trans people are saying it, so I'm just copying it. You just wonder.
In that. Now, if you want to make a sport that's only, that you only let people who are, for example, 5'8" in, make a sport for people who are less than 5'8". But look at...
So why can't they do a sport for people that were born female in that case? If you're happy for like height discrimination, why not sex?
Just Google what's the average height of the very successful female netball players. It's way over 6 foot. That's not fair.
And that's female in terms of sex, right?
Yeah. So if you make a space for women, all women are included. If you want to segregate for
okay, then prove trans women are women, you know.
other reasons, for example, performance, make your segregation categories fit that. But we cannot just simply allow...
No, it isn't. No, what isn't? I don't know what you mean.
Exclusion of transgender women. And if we allow exclusion of one set of people, it allows us to exclude others. And look at...
But exclusion is like necessary sometimes. You have to exclude things. You have to exclude people sometimes.
You know, your previous commentary just now tells us a little bit about that, and the concerns about abortion.
Oh, female netball players tend to be short? Okay.
Rights are coming back in again. All of these things are interlinked. We need to stamp it out from the top. Diversity exists, inclusion is really important, equality for all, and human rights. That's it.
We're talking about human rights, again, in terms of like participating in the Olympics. What human right does someone have to participate in the Olympics as their gender identity? Gender identity is never going to be a good category. It just doesn't work. There's never going to be like a legal category for people that call themselves a thing. Not really. Like technically, you could, even then actually, I don't know if you can essentialize trans or gender reassignment down to just people that call themselves a different thing. Usually there's more to it than that. Usually they're like also living their life a certain way, have changed their name. I never actually watched the Joe Rogan thing.
A lot of these fucking people that are in trouble for going into women's bathrooms dressed as a woman with a fucking beard and a heart on are just that. They're creeps.
Right, okay. Are you talking about yourself here, or are you talking about trans women? Because that's not the trans women I know.
And these crazy men, their entire life, they would get beaten up for that. And now all of a sudden...
I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck he's saying here.
They have to be accepted.
Oh, I wonder why they might get beaten up for that. Maybe you have a part to play in this. Maybe your continued bad-mouthing of...
I love the action shots and the fake brick behind it.
Transgender women is part of the reason why these people get beaten up for that. You are...
When you allow perverts to go into women's locker rooms...
Oh, it's the golden ticket for men to go in and abuse women.
The bathroom and stare at women and pretend you're a woman when you're just a crazy man.
Is that honestly the best you can come up with?
The majority of these high school shootings have been transgender people.
That is completely and utterly wrong.
They're crazy men. And these crazy men, their entire life, they would get beaten up for that. And now all of a sudden, they have to be accepted.
These extreme examples epitomise your nasty, disgusting attitude. Is that what you're...
I'll be honest. As much as I probably agree with her more than Joe Rogan on any of this, she's also someone that will complain when someone misgenders a trans pedophile. So kind of right message, wrong messenger, you know?
Teaching your daughters.
Like, he's literally talking about perverts and shit.
Get beaten up for that. And now all of a sudden, they have to be accepted.
These extreme examples epitomise your nasty, disgusting attitude. Is
extreme examples, but then you'll stick up for, like, extreme examples.
Is that what you're teaching your daughter?
I thought the point was, well, the extreme people, we don't claim them. Like, we don't, you know, fucking Isla Bryson or whatever, we don't fucking claim those people, you know? So, like, pick one.
A lot of these fucking people with a fucking beard and a heart on, they're creeps.
Right, okay. Are you talking about your...
I mean, like, he's technically correct. If someone walks in to a women's changing room with, like, a beard and a fucking boner going on, then yeah, they're probably a creep. I guess technically he's correct.
Hard on. They're creeps.
Right, okay. Are you talking about yourself here, or are you talking about trans women? Because that's not the trans women I know.
I know that it's a super complex, nuanced thing.
Here's what's not complex. What is your chromosomes?
So you're not going to answer, Steve-O.
What is your chromosome?
So I'll answer him for you.
When you...
Oh, it's meant to be some epic thing that she probably posted on YouTube. I don't care that much. Whoa, there's an expression. Oh, it's about fucking girl guiding. Why are these people? Who fucking cares if trans women can't, or trans girls can't be fucking girl guides? Who actually gives a shit?
Okay, which idiots have come up with this idea? Exclusion of young trans girls simply because of their gender identity.
How many trans girls have actually been told to leave? I wonder, actually. I don't know. Like, how many of these people are there even in total? I don't know. I think having like male people in like girl guiding, especially when they go on trips and stuff like that, it does seem a bit dodgy. And then the Scouts is gender neutral anyway. So I don't know why you wouldn't just join the Scouts. I don't even know how many of them there are.
Identity. Is there a hate group behind this? Have you been...
Like, why should any organization prioritize someone's gender identity when the only way is like them telling you, though?
Been listening to people you shouldn't be listening to. Who has told you that you should interpret the Supreme Court ruling in this way? Whose idea was this? Who's going to actually take action? Who's going to tell these children and their families? Absolute shame on you. Pull yourself together.
Wow. Utterly worthless. No idea why we're mad about stuff like this. We gotta die on every single hill ever.
One of the points that Keira Bell often makes is that she was plunged into a menopause.
Had menopausal symptoms.
So not menopause, menopausal symptoms, okay? Immediately dishonest.
One of the points that Keira Bell often makes is that she was plunged into a menopause.
I had menopausal symptoms like night sweats, hot flushes, brain fog, and then you have the genital issues as well that come with it.
And that's what happens when you give a puberty blocker to somebody who's already in puberty. It switches off your hormones just like that, and that is just like a menopause when you're 50 years old and your ovaries stop working and you're plunged into a state of no hormones. But this was something that the NHS, no one's really got quite clear where they got this idea to do this from. You must have puberty blockers for a year before you start hormones. It's not evidence-based. It's not in any of the other clinical guidelines. And
the thing is, though, wasn't it Marcy Bowers saying that they needed to induce like male puberty a little in male patients? Because if there's no puberty whatsoever, then none of them achieve orgasm.
It has caused a lot of problems. Of course, the solution is to say, okay, well, this person, we need to switch off their natural hormones and then give them a replacement hormone. And then, of course, everyone will say, oh, my goodness, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, just trans them as soon as you can. Make sure they're making decisions on the rest of their life at the youngest age possible. Great idea.
Much too young for that. But actually, excellence in transgender care for transgender children is switch off their natural hormone production as soon as they are ready.
No long-term studies on this, I'm sure. Well, very little information on how this is affecting like their lifespans and shit like that. Very little information about how the puberty blocker kind of usage is messing with their brain development potentially. And what little there is suggests negative.
And then replace it with the opposite hormone as soon as they are ready. And that should be a discussion of informed consent between that person.
Yeah, informed consent between a child.
And their doctor.
Wow. Or the parent.
And hopefully their parents, if their parents are on board.
Incredible.
So you're put onto these puberty blockers.
To do that to a child is barbaric.
Keira Bell went through an assessment process.
She elected to go on those hormones. She elected to have a double mastectomy when she was 20 years old.
She gave her informed consent to that treatment and then later regretted it.
Myself and Keira both started when we were 16.
So that's quite late in comparison to what they're recommending now.
Of course, everyone will say, oh my goodness, 14, 15, 16, much too young for that. Excellence in transgender care is switch off their natural hormone production as soon as they are ready.
Keira Bell had a very unfortunate regret of, her voluntary kind of procedures.
And this is a very good point, and it's not one that's made very often.
I think it's important to note how extreme it is to block puberty.
Puberty blockers are completely reversible.
You've even got the trans kids that you fucking trans saying it's fully reversible. Well, it wasn't fully reversible for you, was it? And it's not true. We don't know this. Why do people keep saying this?
Reversible?
Yes, it's reversible because when it wears off
completely,
your testicles and ovaries just wake back up.
What about other parts of the body?
Again.
It's really unfortunate that she regrets that the detransition rate is often less than 3%.
Yeah, we don't know that either.
And that means that she is the exception and I am the rule.
That's a really cringe quote, but okay. I am the rule. Listen to me, the overweight transitioner, child transitioner. Yeah, look at, oh. Helen Webberley ever made something like this of me over something I said in this kind of way, I would actually consider ending it. Oh, Mr. Emily Dawn got involved. This guy's a fucking freako. Sasshole in chief. This guy's a fucking loser, by the way. He got incredibly angry that I said the Southport stabber wasn't a Muslim, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't. And that I didn't immediately think that Imam Khalif had to be male, which there still isn't proof of, by the way. Yeah, he just does this thing of like retweeting people like pathologically. He did this to me. He retweeted my face like 30 times in a row. Just saying this like insane shit about me. Weird fucking freak. Anyway. Still there.
You see, the thing is, Musk, denying a child's identity is a form of abuse. So if you deny your...
What does that even mean? Denying a child's identity. What does that even mean? How can you coin something as abuse when it's that like vague as to what you're even saying?
Child's gender identity, whether it's what you want...
I mean, it's the same tactic people use in there, I guess. Let's work out a way in which I can say this person's committing abuse and then just call them an abuser.
It to be or not, that is a form of abuse, and abused children shouldn't stay with the parents.
That's insane. Take a kid away from their parents because their parents don't believe they're the opposite sex. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I don't think we should be advocating for more kids to be taken away from their parents. Not unless it's actually necessary.
Actually, not all women's breasts hang down that low, and also not all wombs prolapse after childbirth, and actually not all children are ungrateful for their upbringing. No, that's not what a woman is. Actually,
I think I just had a stroke.
Janet Murray spots this card in a card factory, and she somehow seems to think it's worth getting her panties in a twist over. The card is beautiful, by the way. It's in
It's pretty weird, but okay.
flag colours, it's celebratory, it's joyful, and it exists because Card Factory has clearly recognised that their customers include trans people and the people who love them. Now, here's the thing, Janet. Card Factory sells 21st birthday cards, engagement cards, anniversary cards, sympathy cards, wedding cards. They sell cards with poo jokes on them and fart humour and all manner of things that are designed for specific people, specific moments and specific celebrations. Janet, no one's fault.
I don't know. The idea of buying cards in general. There can't be much that is more like marked up, more like capitalistic than literally just writing some genericism on a piece of card and then charging several pounds for it. Like, I don't know, man.
I want to speak directly to the trans community and to the families who are living with the consequences of the Cass review.
What does that even mean, living with the consequences of the Cass review?
As you know, I've referred Dr. Cass to the GMC to ask them whether they feel that Dr. Cass has acted in the best interests.
This is just a complaint that's been made, right? Oh, a Substack is working suddenly. I was trying to use it before. Oh, it's really short. Now, what is the point in this? The Cass review came out ages ago. Hillary Cass is still supporting like the trials for puberty blockers, which, to be honest, I kind of see her side of. I'm too punk for this slog. Referring Hillary Cass to the General Medical Council. Would the General Medical Council even take any kind of complaint from Helen Webberley? Helen Webberley isn't a doctor in the UK. And has had her own referrals to the General Medical Council. I'm pretty sure it was they who... Yeah. The GMC were the ones that struck off Mike Webberley, her husband. I can't remember if she was investigated by... Yeah, she was. Yeah. So both her and her husband were investigated by the GMC. It was 2023. So this might have been when her appeal was... Yeah, I think her appeal was granted. And it was her husband that got struck off. Like, he wouldn't be able to come back. But like, I don't know who they'll take complaints from. So I don't know how seriously they take something like this. So her formal referral. Grounded in published evidence, peer-reviewed critique, professional standards. Whether those standards have been met, it's very vague. I guess you'd have to read the... Wait, what? No, I don't want to send her my fucking email address. Are you fucking kidding me? No, thank you. More at HAL 2025. Do you know that one, or? Years of peers in that, surely. Yeah. Oh, it's critiques of the cast review. So I mean... No evidence to indicate what. This is just a critique, I guess. There's more complaining about what they called low quality evidence. Wow, amazing. This is all just like critiques. I don't see the fucking point of this. I don't know what the fuck she's playing out with this shit, to be honest. I mean, I guess we'll keep an eye and see if anything comes of this, but I don't know, man. Don't know. No, that was the most recent one, apparently. No, the most popular one. Most recent. This fucking website is appalling. Oh, I don't know. I don't care that much. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, so this is a video talking about it.
I want to speak directly to the trans community and to the families who are living with the consequences of the Cass review. As you know, I've referred Dr. Cass to the GMC to ask them whether they feel that Dr. Cass has acted in the best interests of patients and the public perception of the profession. I know many of you don't, and I understand the fear, the frustration, and the sense that nobody in authority is listening. I've been there. I have referred Dr. Cass to the GMC to ask the same questions that they were asked of me. Is she acting within her competence?
So part of this is just that she's pissy that she got fucking investigated. And now wants Hillary Cass to experience the same thing. This is weird. This is fucking strange.
GMC to ask the same questions that they were asked of me. Is she acting within her competence? Are her actions for the benefit of patients and the public? Is she acting honestly? I've made this referral on behalf of every young person who's been...
Oh yeah, one of the charges against Gender GP in general is that they were clearly operating it in a way that was designed to avoid like UK medical guidelines and regulations and shit. So yeah, she must still be a bit pissy about all of that, even though it was clearly true. It was clearly true that Gender GP was they used like international doctors. They did what was it? I'm trying to think. They'd put out statements about how they don't use UK doctors and there's no experts in the UK and stuff. And that they're following like international guidelines, aka WPATH, which if the UK doesn't recognise that way of working, or if WPATH's like standards of care clash with what the UK want to do at some point, ultimately it's the UK guidelines that take precedent. Like WPATH can't tell a country how to do things. They have a recommendation or whatever. And countries that don't look into it for themselves tend to just like follow them.
Denied care, every family who's been left without answers, and every clinician who's been made to feel that their expertise counts for nothing and they have no idea how best to help their patients. I know that many of you have not felt heard. So I'm also collecting your voices and your experiences, which I will share with the GMC and also publicly with your permission. Your voices are the very ones missing here. And although I can speak for you, I do not walk in your shoes.
Please don't speak for us. How about that?
Your voices are the very ones...
Brexit was a good deal. I disagree. I think it's a massive waste of time. I think we were sovereign either way.
Ones missing here. And although I can speak for you, I do not walk in your shoes. The full GMC referral document is available on my website, helenwebberley.com, for anyone who wants to read it. And there's also a form where you can voice your opinion. I'll keep you updated as things develop, but it can be slow.
Wow, incredible. Incredible. I can't wait to see whether the GMC investigates Hillary Cass for the same things that Helen Webberley was. Totally doesn't sound like a personal beef she has. He was wrecking Britain. I don't know how, but okay. I don't know why, by what metric. We certainly haven't seen much of the benefit from here of leaving the EU. It just seems like shit continues to get more expensive and we continue to be more and more broke. And we ended up bringing in loads of immigrants anyway. So the whole oh, there'll be less immigration thing didn't work out. And in fact, at least they used to be like white people, you know. That wasn't Boris Wave.
600%. That means if there were 10 last year.
Where the fuck is this from? This is the Joe Morm thing, isn't it? Like, there's no way this is fucking true. I like how she's covering the... So what the fuck is the source for this, then? It says Tatchell deleted that tweet after everyone pointed out his dangerous lies. It's from the Good Law Project, isn't it? It's from the fucking Good Law Project. Yeah, so it was like they were doing this before, and it was, these are how many trans children killed themselves. But the thing is, it's the fact that they're tying it to the ban of puberty blockers. So it's not just, it was this many. But it's like, well, was it because of that, or was it for other reasons? Because trans people, especially trans children, tend to have a lot of like comorbids and stuff. And yeah, this Lewis Appleby did a review of it and found it was only a small amount that they could like prove was because of like the lack of access to treatment or whatever. There was only a handful they could actually prove like killed themselves for that reason. Yeah, I don't know. But if the Good Law Project says it, it must be true, Jesus.
Last year. That means they will be 70 this year. Absolutely disgusting. And I tell you who else has got blood on their hands. Every single person who takes their phone in their hand and writes on X and says, blah, 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 trans children, blah, blah, blah.
This is so fucking... What do you mean blood on their hands? It's fucking X. Yeah, some shitter on X has killed a trans person by popping off. What the fuck is any trans person doing on fucking X? Like, these people forget who runs this shit. Why would you be on this fucking website in the first place?
Blood on their hands. Every single person who takes their phone in their hand and writes on X.
This is like such performative, like, outrage. Like, there's like face and everything. There's no way. There's no way.
X and says, blah, 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 trans children, blah, 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 deny them care, blah, 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 we don't believe in, blah, 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 they're mentally ill, blah, 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 blood on their hands too. 600.
A fucking retarded video.
Are we actually banning the right conversion therapists? That's the question, because when I hear this from Dr. Cass, it makes me very, very worried.
But the point is that it is not the intent of the psychological treatments to change their gender perception. It may happen during the course of treatment.
I've dug deeper into the ban on conversion therapy on my website, helenwebberley.com. Conversion therapy is never okay, and it's always harmful. Are we
Okay, no definition of conversion therapy, so why would I care what you think? Oh, Fox Variant, that's that one that Billboard Steve likes talking about, isn't it? They were not asked whether gender-affirming care is appropriate. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Hampstead Heath Ladies Pond, did you ever imagine you'd become so famous? And what a good cause, standing up for the rights of women, all women. Well done you. And also well done to any woman who's supporting you in your pledge to include all women in your pond. And also congratulations to all the beautiful trans women who pop their swimming costume on and go for a swim. Well done you.
Friend.
So your GP says they don't know how to help you. Well, you tell them it's rule number 1, good medical practice, keep your knowledge and skills up to date. If you had a bad elbow, They wouldn't be able to say, sorry, I don't know anything about elbows, but I'll refer you to a clinic that might see you in 8 years, but some people are saying that they're never going to see you at all because you'll be dead by the time you get to the top of the waiting list. Because you'll be dead by the time you get to this, but some people are saying that they're never going to see you at all because you'll be dead by the time you get to the top of the waiting list. You tell
That's helping trans people's mental health, isn't it?
Tell them, go pick up a textbook.
It's not good what's happening, but fucking hell.
And learn, because
we don't have to constantly mention like death and suicide in the same sentence as trans like all the fucking time.
You shouldn't be left to suffer. So I did a post on sports the other day, and then I received a message from a transgender woman who plays lawn bowls. She told me that Bowls England has stopped trans women from playing in ladies' competitions. If you're
Oh no, this is definitely worth sorting out about on X.
For a trans woman affected by policies like this, you're not without options, and I want to be really clear about that. First, document everything. Keep records of the policy, any communications you've had with the organisation, especially in writing. Make sure you get it in writing, and how the exclusion has affected you. Second, ask for justification. Write to Bowls England and ask them to explain the legitimate aim. What are they trying to achieve by this policy?
Not having male people in female sports, I would imagine.
Why excluding trans women is proportionate. Why do you need to exclude all trans women? And how do...
Because they're male and it's female.
They justify treating trans men and trans women differently. A policy that can't withstand basic scrutiny is a policy that may not survive a legal challenge. Third, seek support.
How come all these like legal challenges are not like destroying all these sports? I'm sure some of these sports authorities, they haven't allowed trans women in for a while. I don't know if it just takes that long, but I've not really seen any cases come yet that have blown these out the water.
Organisations like Gendered Intelligence and...
Also, this is literally fucking Katie Neves. I bet this person watches Katie Neves and just copies a lot of their take. I honestly think she just like she must just find all those kind of cringy as fuck trans activists and just uses the same takes. Because I mean, it's not her fault if they're wrong. She's just like listening to the trans community, but it's not listening to the trans community. It's listening to fucking ivory tower freaks like fucking Neves.
Translucent and Gyres and the LGBT Foundation have done excellent work on sports inclusion, and they may be able to offer you advice. Fourth, consider formal action, because if you believe you've been discriminated against unfairly, you may have grounds to make a complaint to the Equality and Human Rights Commission or to pursue legal action. I know it seems tricky, but if we don't do it, if we don't try, we're not going to get there.
Wow. Good use of your time. The fuck is this? Oh. Lee Anderson, your public views are in breach of the Equality Act 2010. So she actually does think that misgendering is illegal. I think you should be allowed to call this person a bloke. Are they a bloke? I don't fucking know. Get people looking like all sorts nowadays. But I don't know, I think being anti-free speech is generally a really bad look. And people that advocate for trans, whilst being incredibly anti-free speech, should really consider not doing what they're doing. Is this gonna work or not?
Nobody has shown that making trans young people wait until adulthood improves their well-being, because that would
What's shown the opposite?
be a very unethical study to conduct. But what we do know that
isn't that literally part of the trial that we're doing in the UK? But they've got a cohort that's also waiting.
Is that going through the wrong puberty causes real, immense distress, and that young people who receive support do way better.
Yes, coming from someone who is told that in a medical professional setting where you're going to be told. It's not just, oh, I don't really like being female, I want to be male. It's, no, this puberty is making me want to kill myself and stuff. I very much do think that her perspective is coloured by the kinds of interactions she had, where people are going to be like, it's going to be advantageous for them to state it in the strongest terms possible.
Than those who don't. The question of whether adolescents can make these decisions is one I hear constantly. And I think we just need to be more nuanced.
Yeah, decisions like having their own children. I'm sure that Andrew Neil put that to her and she just completely didn't fucking answer.
About it. Some can, many can, lots can, some maybe not. And that's why we do those individual assessments. We trust young people to make significant decisions in other medical contexts all the time. A teenager with cancer can consent to chemotherapy. A young person with a chronic
cancer is a bit different to gender dysphoria though, right?
illness, like diabetes, for example, can agree to lifelong medication.
What's the alternative there? Oh wait, no, you'll say, if you don't give trans people care, they'll off themselves. Wow.
And the question isn't whether adolescents can ever make important decisions. It's whether this particular young person, with this particular support system, has the capacity to understand what's being proposed.
Yes, and how they'll feel later in life.
And it's a continual and individual assessment, not a one-off and not a blanket rule.
By the way, continuous individual assessment. Do you know what it takes to get gender-affirming care from Helen Webberley? Just like filling out a form and talking to a so-called counsellor who might not even be registered.
And that's what clinical guidelines help us do.
So she's full of shit on this. That's not her care model. Her care model is, hi, I'm trans. Okay, well, here's some drugs then.
The question we should be asking is how to provide care, not whether to provide care. These decisions belong in the consulting room with patients and their families and their healthcare professionals.
Gender GP doesn't have any consulting rooms. What they have is a person on a Zoom call or on the other end of a telephone.
And not with politicians. And what frustrates me so much about these current debates that we're having is constantly being offered this false choice between two extremes. On one side, ban all care for trans young people. On the other side, provide immediate access to everyone who asks it without any assessment.
Which is what you... Oh my god, this person's so full of shit. Oh yeah, no, I'm the one in the middle, actually doing it all correctly. No, fuck off, mate. It's not true. They do like one assessment. They don't do any kind of physical tests. They don't do any kind of psychological tests. What they do is like super basic and often not done by someone qualified to. But how can you say this when you literally are what you're describing as one of the extremes, saying we shouldn't be extreme? Well, you are one of the extremes.
Now, neither of those positions actually serves young people, and neither
So why are you doing one of them then?
of them reflects how medicine actually works.
I might have to remember this one. This might be worth using. I don't know. I'm trying to finish up a video I've been making, which I hope will be done. I want to say in a few days, hopefully by the end of the week at least. Really, I'm just kind of seeing if there's anything else worth bringing in. Yeah, as AI assessment. You talk to a counsellor of some kind, almost never a doctor. This person is like just full of shit. Like, you can't say, oh, the extremes are bad when you're one of the extremes. That means you're saying that you are bad.
I've been reading the news about sex matters being investigated by the Charity Commission. And I just want to remind us that when a charity is supposedly carrying out...
I wonder if anything came of that. which one was it? Sex Matters. You've opened an investigation. Sex Matters is saying it's routine. I'm guessing these things take time. Oh, there are complaints made. So they're saying, they're just kind of going along with it, I guess. And they're not like kicking off about it, which is probably good. I think they should probably have expected this to happen. Yeah, I know. Who knows? Who knows?
Good. It can't then have more harm caused than good that it creates. So if by carrying out its supposed purpose, it's actually harming another group of people, that harm must not be bigger than the supposed good. And that's the law, and that's what the Charity Commission are also responsible for making sure happens. The Charity Commission do investigate charities where the harm outweighs the good.
Oh, we look. What the fuck is this? Some advert for a website.
Judge me on what I do. That's what the new head of Britain's equality watchdog is asking trans people to say. So let's do exactly that. Dr. Mary Ann Stevenson has just given her first interview as chair of the EHRC, and she wants us to look at her actions, not her words. Well, her actions include donating to Alison Bailey's legal fund against Stonewall. Her actions include...
Why is that bad?
Leading an organisation...
Nope, I'm going to have to look it up myself. Of course. Oh, it's 2 L's. It's about Twitter posts. Who fucking cares about Twitter posts? To be honest, when it's a case being brought because of fucking Twitter posts, I almost feel like I should support the tweeter on principle. Yeah, so it's a complaint from Stonewall. GCC. Garden Court Chambers Limited. Okay, this seems really fucking dumb. I don't care about someone giving money to this.
His legal fund against Stonewall.
It's because Alison Bailey will have said things that she considers transphobic. I don't give a fuck.
Stonewall. Her actions include leading an organisation whose response to the Gender Recognition Act consultation called for the right to exclude trans people from single-sex spaces. Not very inclusive.
Wait, does she mean the EHRC? That's not really her fault. She's just the new head of it. That's a weird summary as well.
Actions include accepting this appointment despite both parliamentary committees saying she shouldn't get the job. She says that the EHRC's new code isn't a licence to discriminate based on looks. But when you're telling service providers that they can exclude people from toilets based on whether someone raises concerns about them.
Well, no, it's based on their sex. It's just that they might circumvent it because it's not easy to enforce when it's toilet.
What else is that?
Well, the whole point will be it's probably better to try not to discriminate based on looks because you don't really know what someone is. Which suggests that maybe some of the time policing the bathroom thing is probably not a huge, a good idea. I don't know. I'm falling asleep.
I spent years as a GP. I treated trans patients and I saw what happens when institutions that are supposed to protect people instead signal that those people are problems to be managed.
That's just rhetoric. What does that even mean?
The EHRC is supposed to be the guardian of equality for everyone, but there's a clear vote of no confidence from the very communities it exists to protect. Dr. Stevenson asks to be judged on what she does, and I think we already have plenty to judge.
Wow, incredible. Organization gave a 15-year-old like a massive dose of testosterone. Gives children puberty blockers with like basically zero consultation with anyone. All kinds of stuff. But you know, glass houses and that. I'm sorry, I'm like tired as fuck today. I don't know. Watching stuff.
A message to all the people that have really pissed me off this year. Can you not piss me off next year, please? Try and have a happy Christmas. I know it's hard.
All people on social media.
Happy Christmas to all of my followers. Thank you for following. Thank you for supporting my work. And remember, we are on the right.
Leave the kids alone and keep women out of men's sport. I guess I agree. Usually the problem is the other way around.
Right side of history. A message.
Yeah, usually you get some people that are just transphobic, but then plenty of people get called transphobic. They actually just have specific issues. And I agree. I don't know. I don't want to be in. I'm a so-called trans woman or whatever. I don't want to compete against women. I don't really use, or I don't ever use women's spaces now. Definitely don't think kids should transition.
Deeply unpleasant, insulting, horrible behaviour, and you did damage her phone. See what I've got to say about Linehan in my Substack. Deeply unpleasant, insulting.
Wow.
Thanks to everyone who phoned in yesterday. I know there were so many callers waiting and they couldn't get to them all, but thank you so much. Thank you especially to Liz. You've really made my...
That was about LBC. Wow, incredible. About an Andrew Gold. I think we already watched that. No, I didn't watch her on Andrew Gold. I watched her with Helen Joyce and then on GB News. With whatever that fucking moron was that debated her. I'll be back in like 1 sec. Alright. I'll keep going a bit longer. I'm like super tired today for some reason. Mostly I just want to finish my video I'm making. I found some other stuff. I need to do streams more often. It's been like once a week. For the most part. Which is a lot less than it used to be, I understand. Use my chair, by the way. Oh, this is about Nigel Farage. Let's have a look.
Nigel Farage loves talking about freedom. Well, unless you're trans. Well, it's grading time, Nigel. Let's see how you score on trans rights. Spoiler, it's not an A+. First up, back in his UKIP days, he pushed so-called conscience clauses. So churches and councils...
You shouldn't be about now rather than back in UKIP. I don't know. I don't even like Nigel Farage. Please don't make me stick up for him.
Councils could dodge equality laws. And that meant that same-sex marriage and gender-inclusive spaces could just...
Yeah, I know, right? Billy's going to have to complain to someone else that they didn't immediately acknowledge his presence when he showed up in chat.
...be ignored. And then there's free speech. He defends homophobia and transphobia as matters of conscience. Remember when Anne Widdecombe said science might one day produce an answer to whether people are gay or transgender? And Nigel said there was nothing wrong with that view. Today, with Reform UK, he's targeting schools, promising to ban what he calls trans ideology. And that means no pronouns, no social transition, and no gender education at all. And it doesn't stop there. With Reform, he backs scrapping diversity roles, rewriting the Equality Act, banning pride flags on council buildings. To be fair, there have been a couple of softer moments. Recently, he briefly supported a case-by-case approach to trans women in prisons instead of a blanket ban. It didn't last long, but it did happen for a few days at least. And he said he had trans people as UKIP representatives, and he claimed he had no problem at all with that. Well done, sort of. Well done, Nigel, sort of. At least you recognise the community sometimes. So, Nigel, your stance on trans people is not where it should be. From the trans community, you're getting a D-. I
mean, from the trans community, I hate this person. If this... Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day this person comes out as non-binary so she can start actually saying we and it not be an issue. I've met so many, like, activist types like this. They all do this, like, oh, from the trans community. You're not part of the fucking trans community. Like, shut up.
What a week. There have been some big headlines this week, from tribunals to trans sports stars. I'm here to make sense of what they all mean for the trans community.
How kind of you.
A group called Trans Kids Deserve Better, check out their website, carried a coffin and held a protest.
Oh, these fucking freaks. They're the same ones that threw, like, crickets at fucking LGB Alliance or whatever. I'm not down with that kind of thing.
Test outside the Supreme Court. They feel let down by the UK and by the government, and who can blame them? They proudly spoke up, saying, "We were promised safety, autonomy, and a voice, but our dignity is dead." I, for one,
Try being dignified if you feel that way.
Totally agree they deserve better. Do you? I was pondering who would be best placed to be in the coffin, but it wasn't my actual top choice because they were up in Fife, where the hearing continued of Sandy Peggy and her menstrual period, sparking national debate about trans inclusion, staff safety, and policy failure. It shows the importance of clear policy so there's no confusion, and for anyone who hasn't got one, here you go. Trans women should be able to use the female facilities, and anyone who objects should go and find somewhere else to get changed. My other hot favourite is going to be really pissed off because the Lawn Tennis Association are encouraging clubs to be inclusive and letting them decide whether to let trans women play in women's grassroots competitions. Blanket bans are not going to win here. And it's great to see tennis leading the way. 40, love. Through protest, policy, or
She's not based in Indonesia. I thought she was based in Singapore.
sport, trans people deserve respect always. Let's stay informed. Let's stand together.
Wow. What fucking date are we even on? July 2025. Wow. What the fuck is this? Ew.
You know, when they say there's no such thing as a trans child, I'm like, well, when did they start being trans then? All these adults who are transgender, when did they start being transgender?
Well, when they started, I don't know. You kind of have to decide it, really. I think identifying is like the first step. I just don't think it's I don't think you can essentialize it down to identifying. Because if you identify and then never do anything with it, then you're not really trans to me. I know, I hate there's no such thing as a trans kid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Fucking Billboard Steve loves pushing that whole thing. I don't think there's any such thing as transgender. And it's like, bro, obviously a child could live as the opposite sex. Obviously those two things can coexist, and it's not, you know, it's not like logically a problem or whatever. The question is always whether it should be a thing. Whether we should let those kids, like, transition, you know? So I don't know, we're arguing against something I already think is stupid anyway.
It doesn't start when you're 16, 18.
But, like, I started transition when I was, like, 24. That's when I made that decision that that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't trans before that. I wasn't living as the other sex. I dressed a certain way. I was still known as a man's name and, like, as a he. You're not trans until you're trans. A person that transitions at the age of 25 wasn't therefore always trans their whole life, because what is trans? You can't say it's like your genuine, like, gender identity, because that means that detransitioners were trans, but then you always say that they weren't trans. Oh, they detransitioned because they weren't actually trans, but they were trans the whole time that they were trans. You know what I mean? It's just like retconning.
21, 35. It starts when you are born.
That's like stupid. This person has said something to the effect of, your gender identity is formed like at conception, which is like dumb. Obviously that's not the case. What the fuck is gender identity? That it is formed at conception. Where was it? Fucking hell. I'm not making this up. Yeah, it was this one.
Consistently and persistently saying, I am not a boy, I am a girl. And that's very, very different from just allowing children to freely play with whatever they want to play with and just be kids and be happy. So you cannot grow out of being transgender. Your gender identity is fixed from conception.
That's complete nonsense. It's just not true at all. Like, how can your gender identity be fixed from conception? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck is gender identity to these people? How can you know something in the womb if your gender identity is you knowing what you really are in relation to sex on the inside, regardless of what you physically are? You can't know that kind of, like, they usually say that gender identity develops around 2 or 3, when kids start understanding what sex they are and understanding other people's sex and stuff like that. So then it's not from conception. Like, we're saying that, oh, you always felt that way. Don't you, like, enjoy some foods as a kid that you might decide you don't later in life, or vice versa? Why would your preferences around, like, gender, something you haven't actually experienced because you're still in the fucking womb, how can they be a thing that you're born with? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, it makes my fucking head hurt. And these are the people. These people are making, like, fucking bank, like, treating people, and the shit they believe is, like, fucking insane.
Of course trans children exist.
Wow. I guess technically we agree that yes, you can be trans in a child. I just don't personally think it's a good idea. Oh, Brianna Wu.
Don't let people...
Brianna Wu commented on this. It's not very interesting, but she did. What's Brianna Wu been up to? I'm not blocked anymore. You like peas now? I've always hated peas, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if there's anything that I didn't like as a kid that I like now. There's been the odd thing that I've decided I don't like later in life, but I'll eat most things. Oh, I can follow Brianna Wu. I'm not blocked anymore. I'm not blocked anymore. Where's my X account? It's like a throwaway one. I don't post or anything. It's literally I'm here. I have this account to look at other people's shit. Does anyone know who Charlotte Clymer is, by the way? Never mind. You don't need to know.
Party. I want to talk to you about why I've been producing a lot more video content lately and why I'm asking you if you support my message.
Wait, she's been making content? Dude.
To follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all those good places.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Brianna Wu on Threads.
Let me back up. It is really apparent to me that we are in a battle for the soul of the Democratic Party. We are getting more extreme, and I hate admitting that because it's a right-wing meme, but it's still true.
The Democrats are getting more extreme. I guess she thinks they're becoming communist or something, maybe.
There are views I have that would have been completely uncontroversial a decade ago that I can't say in our own party
Things were so much better in my day
anymore without getting canceled. Things like...
It looks like she sounds worse than she looks. Like, why is the sound on this video so fucking appalling?
I think Israel should exist. I think terrorism is bad. And
yeah, sorry, she's massively zogged up. So, like, this is her thing now. The Democrats aren't as pro-Israel as they used to be. I'm not being paid to say this.
America is not responsible when terrorists do bad things. You know, even as a trans woman, I get canceled for saying
Brianna's trans? This person's trans?
I think transsexuality is a medical condition. You shouldn't be able to change your gender legally if you don't go to a doctor, get diagnosed, and go through some medical procedures. This is the most normal view in the entire world, and I can't even say it anymore.
I actually disagree. If you resemble a woman without any kind of care and you want to live as a woman, and it's realistic that people might see you as a woman, I don't think you need to have gone to the doctors or anything like that. I don't think we need to base trans on gender dysphoria. I think gender dysphoria is just generally what brings people to it, you know.
Anymore in our own party. The thing that frustrates me the most is we are so obsessed with Donald Trump losing that we can't even come together as a nation to support him when he's doing things that make sense. The border is a fantastic example. Go look at the New York Times. There are millions and millions and millions of illegal border crossings down there.
Actually, ICE shooting people was based.
We have to have a way to make sure people are in the country legally. That's just normal stuff that every nation on earth does, but somehow it's like something we insist is not a problem. Another thing that really, really bothers me is we are in a war right now with Iran. We have Democrats that are actively undermining our president by leaking classified intelligence briefings and rooting for our president to fail because it would mean he would have a win.
Oh, Dollcast got cancelled forever ago. They just never they just did it quietly, I guess. Why she look like an anime character? Well, she's like 48. There's like numerous different filters going on at once here, probably.
This is just wrong. It's not how a normal country should behave. I think normal, moderate Democrats will beat MAGA every day, all day. And it's...
Didn't this stream end? If you mean the one that I'm currently doing, clearly not, because I'm still streaming.
Much as I hate doing video content, and believe me,
Oh, she hates doing it. Guys, come on. She hates doing this, and she's doing it anyway. That's how much she cares about the future of the Democratic Party.
Democrats will beat MAGA every day, all day. And as much as I hate doing video content, and believe me, I hate it. I hate having my looks picked apart by strangers. I think we've got to have...
Such a martyr, right? Such a fucking martyr. Standing in front of all these fucking pinball fucking machines in her expensive as fuck house. Probably making decent amounts of money just putting out fucking slop like this on fucking X. Because people, she gets views, you know? She's such a martyr. She hates doing these videos, you know? Recording a 2-minute 30 video in which we just ramble off nonsense about how we want the Democratic Party to be, like, zogged up again. She's, like, such a martyr, you know? Like, she made this video. Like, we all should at least just, like, listen to what she has to say and stuff. Because she means it so much that she'll even make videos about it. And she hates making videos. Such a martyr.
New ways to get our ideas out there that isn't tweeting and just putting stuff in the New York Times, which has been my strategy for pretty much my whole career. This is something I'm going to put more professional
What? Tweeting hasn't changed the world? Incredible.
effort into. If you support it, please support my work on these new platforms.
I'm an activist. I post on Twitter. I haven't caught up with Brianna for a while. I might have to fuck off any further Helen Webberley stuff and just watch Brianna shit at this point. There's that. Oh, she said she was making more and more video content. Okay.
I'm getting canceled on Twitter right now for saying this, but it's still true. When do we get to talk about the cancellation that has happened to Jews and their allies in the aftermath of October 7th? Let's back up.
What is happening? He's just like leaning on a pinball machine. Hey there, do you have a second to talk about the Jew? What am I watching? What the fuck is happening? Yeah, I'm in my pinball room. This is where I go to think about anti-Semitism. God.
I'm getting canceled on Twitter right now for saying this, but it's still true. When do we get to talk about the cancellation that has happened to Jews and their allies in the aftermath of October 7th? Let's back up. So Melissa Barrera...
Someone else canceled the Jews. His name was Adolf Hitler.
Who's the star of two of my favorite movies of all time, Scream 5 and Scream 6. She was fired from Scream 7 because basically of anti-Semitic statements that the studio's claiming she made. You can look on her social media. She made some statements about Palestine. She seems to feel strongly about it. I'm a free speech kind of girl. I think you should be able to have your opinion and still have a job. That sucks. But what is entirely unfair is how this targeting of literally everyone that stood up for Israel is currently standing up for Jews in America. What is...
Ooh.
I'm getting canceled on Twitter, and I have lost friends. Israel is currently standing up for Jews.
This is Brianna Wu, yeah. She's being a victim because people are mean about her for being nice about Jews.
In America, what is happening to us professionally and personally. Because I'm not even a Jew, and I have lost friendships, I've lost contracts, I am hunted every single day on social media.
Hunted every single day on social... What does it mean to be hunted on social media, I wonder? I don't understand. You know, you can just log off. You know, if you hate doing videos so much, you can just do anything else.
You know, it's almost like I'm on some list and these pro-Islamist bots will just hunt me down.
You know, when you think about it, really the main victim of the Holocaust was actually Brianna Wu.
and start accusing me of supporting a genocide, which I don't and can't because it doesn't exist, right? It is so frustrating that there's this double standard where they get to have a pity party in Variety and New York Magazine about how hard their life is. Meanwhile, those of us that are not standing up for this terrorist political project are having our lives upended too, and somehow just assume that we just need to take it.
It's just Gamergate again. I'm having my life upended. People are mean to me on the internet.
It's entirely unfair. It's total bullshit.
Like, she's right there. It's total bullshit that Brianna Wu is getting treated badly for her Twitter presence. There's no way the way this person behaves on social media would in any way, like, precipitate people hating on her. Surely not. Surely not.
Hi, I'm an actual trans woman, and I'm going to tell you the truth.
Hi, trans woman here.
About trans children. It's going to piss off both the right and the left, so let's go. The first thing I want to tell parents out there is there is clearly some social contagion.
I was muted. The sound is really bad. I'm sorry if it's quiet. There's some banging sound coming from outside as well.
Hi, I'm an actual trans woman, and I'm going to tell you the truth about trans children. It's going to piss off both the right and the left, so let's go. The first thing I want to tell parents out there is there's clearly some social contagion to what's going on. The number of kids identifying as trans has exploded beyond any precedent in history. It
needs to do her roots as well, Jesus.
Is, you know, I
tell you what is going on with this hair? Every time I see her hair, it's like, it's all sticking up for like about half an inch, and then the gravity starts taking over. And you always get this like really weird effect of it just like coming up and round, and the hairline being like way too visible. I don't understand her hair like at all. Like, what if you just had normal hair? Would it not just look better? Like, what is this?
Did the math on this, it's 1,600 times higher than it was when I was a child in the 90s. You know, part of this is progressives have redefined what transsexuality is to be, frankly, pedestrian gender nonconformity, and some percentage of this is a social contagion. So my top advice to any parent out there is go slow and make sure whatever clinician or doctor you're talking to is non-ideological. Make sure that they have cases they can
How would you, like, Jesus Christ? How would you even, like, do this?
Talking to is non-ideological. Make sure that they have cases they can show you saying, no, this is not a good fit for your child. This is...
Wait, what? She was not a child in the 90s. How old is Brianna? I thought she was, like, 48. Sorry, I keep hitting my 1977, so she was like 13 in 1990. Yeah, she wasn't a child. She's not like a 90s child. She's like a teenager.
Out there is go slow and make sure whatever clinician or doctor you're talking to is non-ideological. Make sure that they have cases they can show you saying, no, this is not a good...
Why the fuck would a trans clinic show other people's like medical records to people to show that they'll say no to someone sometime? This is like batshit. Like, I don't get this at all.
Good fit for your child. This is very serious healthcare. You've got to make sure you get it right. Here's the other truth. The right wing is...
And like, are they getting it right because they've said no to people?
Currently involved in a massive political project, which ironically only involves like 10 editors and about 5, political operatives being flown all around the country to scare the hell out of you and to generate support for their crazy agenda, which is to take away parental rights and make it so parents can't choose with their doctor to get their child health care. And, you know, I know these people. The editors will not gender trans people correctly. The political operatives that they're flying all around the country, I encourage you, go look at these people's stories. The reason it's running in media that's not the New York Times is they're not telling the truth about their past. This is a project to scare the hell out of you. Here is the plain truth about what it's like to be one of these very rare trans children. And I should know because I was one of them.
Oh, shut up, bro. This person was not fucking trans as a child.
We absolutely shatter psychologically if we don't get help, and it sends our lives massively off course. I knew that I was supposed to be a girl from my very earliest memories. It has never shifted a second of my entire life. And what happened? I just wanted to be loved.
How come they didn't transition as a child then?
I tried to pretend to be something I wasn't so people would like me and accept me, and it just destroyed me. My entire childhood was about pretending to be something for other people. What people don't understand when they say just wait until 18 is your brain shatters when testosterone hits it. I tell you, like...
It was complete nonsense. I'm sorry, man. What are you talking about?
I was already on shaky ground before puberty hit.
There's no way this isn't a retcon. Like, shit got worse during puberty because it's a difficult time. Like I said, your brain's developing very quickly during that period, and you're learning a lot and not always learning things the right way, and learning a lot of shit the hard way and all sorts of shit, hormones and all that. You're a lot more like impulsive and emotional and shit like that. So it's very easy to have a rough time with that shit, and then later in life be like, oh, it's because I'm actually a girl and like testosterone wasn't right for me. This is just complete bullshit. You just don't know this at all.
When that did, I started constant suicide attempts. I failed in 7th grade. I disassociated.
Like kids, like teenagers or whatever, attempt suicide, are suicidal, like even end up killing themselves for an awful lot of different reasons. Like, isn't there a thing? I read something about like when kids experience like traumatic events in a specific period, sort of like 11 to 14-ish, it affects them way worse than when they were younger or older than that. This is just retcon stuff. Oh, it must have been this, and it makes sense because I'm trans now, but you don't know that at all.
I just stopped talking. I would not inflict that on a child because it's just frankly child abuse. Bottom line, neither the right nor the left care about your kid. They care about their political agenda, so don't listen to them. This does not have to be all or nothing. We can actually have a better process and get the right children the right help.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck. Like, if we're saying get the right children the right help and we're talking about screening, then I agree that more screening is needed. God, the roots are fucking terrible, bro. What are you doing? I don't know. I'm kind of excited to go grey. I think I look nice when I go grey. What was I fucking saying? Yeah, I mean, like, screening and stuff, I think, is a good thing. One of the big things about, like, trans kids is you can't screen the ones that might just get on with it and switch back during puberty or whatever, and the ones that won't. Like, being able to screen kids would be a good start. At the same time, it's not like any indication was given on how the fuck you would do that. You know? This is what I look like. Fucking hell. You can tell the foundation doesn't matter. Like, she did not go to a place to get color match. It's like yellow here and then like very light pink right here.
I am just about to do a YouTube debate on Israel-Palestine, and the subject at hand is, should America have an alliance with Israel? I obviously think the answer is yes, but I'm curious what all of you think.
Now, what is this hair? Is this like backcombing, someone was saying? Like bizarre. What is this doing? Why not just like brush your hair and like look normal? This looks like preposterous. What is this? Weird. Is in like Wick TV. Oh, I can't find what that's referring to now. Yeah, they were all in PV, weren't they? Progressive Victory. I still love that video where they did the Jubilee thing. And you've got all like Vorsh and like Alec Gunter and stuff running around like saying how much they agree with like prompts and stuff. Yeah, Wick TV's still there. I should see if he'll have me on there for like a trans debate. It'll be like one time and then never again, because fuck that shit, but I know. What are we talking about?
Yes, but I'm curious what all of you think. What is your top reason that you think America should have an alliance with Israel? I am just about to do a YouTube.
Wow. Maybe that was on Wick TV. Bro, what is going on here? It looks like she got dragged through a fucking hedge backwards or something.
I have a fun little fact for you about trans public policy in the United States, which is up until about 10 years ago, if you wanted to be considered a woman legally, you had to go get a little snippy snip. You had to go get actual vaginoplasty. Lose the peen, become a queen was our public policy. And, I had this surgery. It's great. Highly recommend it if you're an actual transsexual, which a lot of people aren't. But, the thing is, this created such a high bar for the people we were letting get F on their driver's licenses and passports.
You have pre-trans photos. I've seen a decent few myself.
And go into these spaces, it was such a high bar that we really didn't have this problem with bad actors 10 years ago. Progressives changed it, and today you don't have to do that. You just go down to the DMV, fill out a box, and boom, you're legally a woman. Just snap like that. Which one do you think kept women safe and trans people safe? I think the public can make up their own mind. Did it work better 10 years ago with a very high bar? Was that better for women and trans people? Or is it better today when anyone can just check that box and go anywhere they want?
Wow. Oh, it's all like it's posting like 80s pop music. Now that's how you know they're a middle-aged male, is all the Kylie Minogue worship. Whoa. So wait, hang on. So moderate Democrat, progressive lunatic, moderate Democrat, and this one on the right is meant to be the good one? I feel like this looks like continuous decline, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like the cringiest shit. Like, you just sit here for hours. Just picking through all of it. It's crazy.
It is bleak for the Democratic Party's future, y'all, and I want to talk...
Y'all? Hey, y'all. Do you have a sec to talk about the Democrats?
It is bleak for the Democratic Party's future, y'all, and I want to talk about it because the only reason...
Have I mentioned I'm from the South, y'all? I'm sorry.
It is bleak for the Democratic Party's future, y'all, and I want to talk about it because the only reason we are competitive right now for the midterms is because of Donald Trump. He's a vote-losing machine and always has been. I want to talk about what...
Which is why he won the last election. What is... Okay, I can never tell if it's like the filter or what, but like this eyebrow looks like it belongs on a different person to this eyebrow. Hang on. These are like not even remotely close to being the same. Like, listen, your eyebrows are siblings, not twins, but this is taking the piss a little bit, okay? This is taking the piss a little bit. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, sorry, we're watching something.
What's going on in Maine, because this is really scary for the future of my party, the Democratic Party. So we're running a candidate named Graham Plattner, who has not just a Nazi tattoo, an SS tattoo. And just in case you're not educated enough on Holocaust history to know this, like, it's not enough to have Nazi ideology on your body. He actually went and got the ideology of the people that planned and executed the Holocaust and acted as the secret police. So that's a thing. And this isn't a new development. We, Democratic...
Yeah, the features are all, like, taken from various people, I think.
Operatives knew about this months ago. Many of us were calling for our party to drop him. We had tons of time to find a non-Nazi conspiracy theorist loving candidate, and we just chose to do nothing. And now I'm looking at Twitter last night, and John Favreau, Democratic Party, is out here just wholeheartedly endorsing.
Isn't Fuentes starting to get on board with the Democrats? Maybe they're onto something. Lipstick on the teeth. Oh yeah, Jesus.
To do nothing. And now I'm looking at Twitter.
Oh my god, that's really bad. This is really bad.
Twitter last night, and John Favreau.
There's like a dot of it. Oh my god, dude.
Democratic Party is out here just wholeheartedly endorsing this guy. It's insane. And I've got to tell you something. Like, as much as the American people do not like Donald Trump, and believe me, I don't like this guy at all. In the last election, they told us as clear as they could, they like us, the Democratic Party, even less, which is why they voted for him. This fringe left ideology is not popular. Progressivism is actually deeply unpopular. They are telling us as clearly as possible they want normal Democrats that are focused on economics to be the ones we're running. But what is happening is these DSA freaks are taking over our party, and we're moving further left. After Donald Trump is gone, I literally don't understand how we're ever going to win another election.
Wow. She made like fucking 20 minutes of content or so. It makes a video being like, oh, I've been making a lot more stuff recently, even though I really hate doing it. That's terrifying. Yeah, something that the texture of the hair here is like really strange. I'm gonna get blocked again. I mean, it's not super clear that this is my account. I gave a shit for being mean to Ray Alex Williams. Yeah, this looks like fried. It looks frizzy. I wish I knew what the haircut routine was. Did Brianna ever do like a get ready with me or anything where we saw what she does with the hair? It's weird. It doesn't look healthy. It looks really quite bad, actually. You see what I mean, though? Like, the texture of the hair looks like really fucking bad. I guess it could be just backcombing. Who the fuck is that? Oh. Hair plugs, you reckon? What are like the telltale signs of hair plugs? I don't know. I don't really know what I'm looking for.
One of the things I don't get about the 2026 version of the trans rights movement is how it weighs our convenience in getting HRT access and legal gender
Is that why you can kind of see through the hair quite a lot? You can see the scalp. You have pictures not safe for stream. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Change at 100% importance, but women's safety at 0% importance. Let's be really clear. If you listen to progressives and listen to the public policy that they are advocating, it does not take women's safety seriously. For these situations like non-op trans women raping and impregnating people in prison, or going
Yeah, it looks crispy as fuck here as well.
Into women's locker rooms and showing their genitals, their response, progressives' response, is always the exact same thing. Didn't happen, doesn't matter, shut up, you're a right-winger. If you notice this, well, I'm not a right-winger. I'm a trans woman, I'm a Democrat, and I want us to have policies that allow trans women to have lives with dignity, but also keep out the bad actors. This is really important to me, and I just don't understand why this isn't important to other trans women. When I transitioned and I first started taking estrogen, HRT, one of the things that really got dialed up in my brain was safety. I was really thinking when I started going to parking garages at night or taking the metro across DC at night by myself, it really kind of woke me up and made me think about some stuff. I don't get why so many trans activists just don't care about this. Why do you not get it? What's going on with you? The other thing that really...
Wait, is she like in public? Who can I hear? Okay, someone in the comments said, "Why are you doing this at a restaurant in public? Please seek help and get a job." And the response is, "A lot of anti-Jewish slurs on your account." Okay.
really bothers me is...
This is like a restaurant then? There's just some fucking nuts? I can hear someone else. Maybe they're making a video too.
These incidents make us look like creeps. Why can't we just denounce these people?
You try and have a nice meal and someone's like yelling about policing the trans community better, like on the table next to you.
We can have public policy that provides a medical pathway for actual trans women to change their gender and have medical oversight and keep these perverts out. And the thing is, if we're really telling the truth, we should know better than cis people just how many sexually fetishistic, weird, obsessive creeps there are with highly sexualized ideas about womanhood that have no business in women's spaces. I want nothing to do with them, and I don't understand why y'all do.
Wow, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Wait, what the fuck? Alec Gunter? Alec Gunter? Way to miss the point, Brianna. Wait, there's a whole thing. What's going on? So, LGBTQ kids, blah, 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 blah. What does the Q mean, and what is the specific public policy for Q you are advocating? It's my opinion that Q is more of a social identity with no real public policy state. He's just saying LGBTQ because it's the fucking acronym, isn't he? Way to miss the point, Brianna. Way to miss the point, Brianna. It's just Alec Gunter's face. He just replies saying, okay. I don't know why that tickled me. There we go. Surprise Alec Gunter content. Guntent, if you will. Wait, there's not... There's that. Oh, there was the... I don't know if I should click on this, but this apparently is things removed from her jawbone. I thought Gunter and Wu were friends. I don't know. I don't think so. I've spoken to Alec Gunter a couple of times. I should ask him. I'll ask him next time I talk to him. I wouldn't have thought that he likes someone like Brianna very much, especially if he's like pro-Palestine. Yeah. This was what came out of Brianna's jaw apparently. So that's nice. I guess all this video content is drying up quite quickly. Who the fuck is that? Oh, that person's trans apparently. How nice. Oh yeah, she posts all these like weird trans thirst traps of people like what's her name? Fucking Hunter Schafer. Like weirdly obsessive with like prettier, like child transitioned trans people. Who the fuck is that? I thought it might have been Alec, but it wasn't. What the fuck is... Oh, this is that detransitioner, right? Oh, there's one here.
Democrats are absolutely blowing it on Iran. I've got 5 minutes before I've got to leave for Pilates. Let's talk about it. So obviously, Democrats have this DSA, socialist, communist, the queerest generation in history. Of course they are siding with the Islamist, theocratic nut jobs and the Ayatollah. Of course they're doing that. The Republicans, they've got their crazy anti-vaxxers. We've got our crazy people too. That's just baked into our party. We've got some stupid people. Who shouldn't be stupid though is Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and all these Democrats that I know better, that should not be out here undermining our national security strategy for cheap political points.
Wait, they were criticizing the war in Iran? Wasn't it like very, very illegal what they did? Didn't they blow up like a girls' school and shit like that?
I expect better of you because you're actual adults. You have access to national security briefings. Here's the truth. They're out here, blah, 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 blah. We should go through Congress. Well, you know what? Congress isn't interested in doing its fucking job anymore. It doesn't matter if the Republicans are in power or the Democrats. Everyone's going to undermine whatever the other party is doing for a national security strategy. The Republicans did it with ISIS when Obama said we're going to go blow them to hell for murdering our people. You did this exact same thing. Congress won't do its fucking job, and at some point the adults have to step in and do some shit. And this is what gets me. It's the moral cowardice of these people in our party. They're more interested in their fucking careers than keeping this country safe and doing what's right, as if Iran hasn't been out here attacking the United States for 50 years.
Oh, so she's like pro-war and stuff, okay. Yeah, they're totally gonna, it's gonna be like it used to be in Iran. They're totally gonna like liberate them and stuff. Every time the US gets involved in the Middle East, that's what happens.
Years, daring us to attack us, daring us to go to war, slaughtering our forward deployed, as if they didn't start this and have not been begging for it for 50 years. I will never vote for the Republicans. Fuck MAGA. But that doesn't mean I'm not so dumb. I don't understand. Our party is filled with moral cowards. Fuck Kamala Harris.
Who you'll still vote for anyway. Wow.
And fuck every single Democrat that's undermining our national security right now.
That was dumb. Well, they probably aren't doing much of anything, but what are they supposed to be doing right now?
Good morning. I guess you're waking up exactly like I am, learning that the United States is at war with Iran. I want to talk to you about why I, a Democrat who did not vote for President Trump, do not support President Trump, do not like President Trump, why I am 100% in support of this, because I think it's going to be good for our country in the long run. The first thing you should know is this situation is not anything like Iraq or Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, you basically had terrorists hiding in tunnels that were secretly being supported by the government. This isn't like that at all. You know, the IRGC actually have to specifically live outside of population centers because the people of Iran hate them so much and would kill them if they actually had access to guns. This was a country that was actually a modern paradise in the Middle East before the Iranian Revolution. And the way these people have kept power has been basically to institute this hardcore theocratic version of Islamism. They've been oppressing.
I know, I guess I just find it weird, like, you know, all the shit around the Iran war that I've seen. That you're more interested in, like, criticizing Democrats for criticizing the war. It just seems like she likes to pipe in at the worst possible time with, like, the most worthless fucking point.
Women, they've been forcing gay men to get vaginoplasty and become trans, which is just literally insane. This is an awful, awful government. The most important thing I want to stress to liberals out there, though, is this. We will get so much as a country if we succeed at doing this. For so many administrations, Obama, Trump 1, Biden, before they've come into office, every single one of these presidents has said, we want to pivot away from the Middle East and focus more on Asia. In every single one of these administrations, Republicans and Democrats have been unable to do this because Iran has been destabilizing it the entire time. If the IRGC falls, what is going to happen is Saudi Arabia, which is a far more stable country, is going to play a role in basically stopping all this terrorism from spreading through the region. You're going to see a lack of support for the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas. These groups are not going to have the same missiles, guns, firepower, funding that they used to. This is massively going to stabilize the Middle East, meaning we can focus on China.
It's very optimistic though, right?
Missiles, guns, firepower, funding that they used to. This is massively going to stabilize the Middle East.
I mean, listen, if that actually is what happens, then amazing. I just have a lot of trouble believing that, oh, this time it's definitely going to stabilize things.
Meaning we can focus on China, meaning we can focus on our alliance with India. We can focus more on Russia. This would be so good for our country. Even if you don't like this president, because I don't, this is the right thing to do.
Wow. Listen, I'm not super educated on the Iran war, but like, I don't know. It seems extremely optimistic. Like, you might just fuck it up and make things worse, but, you know, go on. Ooh, trans shooter. An awful lot of selfies. Sabrina Carpenter. She posts the same picture like a lot, and this one as well. Plastic surgery is great. Wow. I never understood the whole, this is me looking male and now I look slightly less male. Like, why do you want people to see you looking male if you're trans? I never got that. What's this one?
Hey y'all, you may not know this about me, but I'm actually from Mississippi. So with this synagogue terrorist
That why she said, hey, y'all at the
attack in the news, I feel a real responsibility to go down there and cover it. Yeah, I know the state and I know where the...
When she says cover it, what does she mean? Does she work for like an outlet or just put it on her fucking Twitter? Former candidate for US House. Former candidate for US House. Could she really not think of anything? Could she really not think of like what she's about? Okay. I ran for office once. Yeah, that's why I've got 172.6k followers, because I ran for office once.
This happened, and I want to help people understand how serious this is. It has a lot of echoes of the violence that took place.
It sounds like weird kind of clout shit, doesn't it?
Mississippi after the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So if you're Jewish and you want to hang out next week and talk to me about your feelings about this, I would love to connect with you, especially if you're connected with the synagogue itself. Invite me over to Shabbat on Friday. I think we'd have a really good time. I'd also...
Hey Jews, please hang out with me. Please hang out with me, Jews.
Yeah, just any...
Hey Jews, everyone hates you right now. Well, same with me. Let's be friends. Let's be outcasts together.
Normal Mississippians that may know my you, especially if you're connected with the synagogue itself. Invite me over to Shabbat on Friday. I think we'd have a really good time. I'd also, just any normal Mississippians that may know my work and want to talk about it, feel free to reach.
Again, a work. You mean my work? What's your work?
Reach out. I would love to get your feelings on the record about this. I think there's a sense that a lot of Mississippians are just dumb, racist rednecks. And don't get me wrong, I grew up there. I understand the problems, but I also know a lot of Mississippians understand their past and are pained when they see things like this happening that kind of repeat the worst chapters of our history. So I'll check my DMs. Feel free to reach out, y'all. Thanks. Bye.
I didn't see anything about this since. I'm guessing the DMs weren't overflowing. One sec. Okay, never mind. I didn't want to open that on screen. Oh, we got more. What date are we at?
I keep getting this comment, Brianna, you changed. What happened to you? What happened to you? No, I want to know what happened to y'all. When I got famous during Gamergate.
I got famous during Gamergate. Why does she talk like that?
I was standing up for women in the video game industry.
Okay, when I inserted myself.
Because I thought we didn't get a fair shake. I didn't sign up for all this America destroying communist, socialist, destroy Israel stuff. That wasn't the mission objective during Gamergate. I'm exactly the same.
Hey, remember Gamergate?
I love the West.
Wasn't there some illness that was supposed to make her mute? Well, she had all that surgery on her voice and stuff, but I guess it didn't go far enough or something.
I think the West has produced the best society on earth for women and for trans women. It is what has given me my rights. I cherish this country. I want to protect it. And I'm sure not going to align myself with a bunch of godforsaken Islamic terrorists stuck in the 6th century. What happened to y'all? Progressivism used to be about universal health care. Now it's about destroying Israel and going after Jews. No, F that.
It's always about the Jews.
This is not my mission. Y'all need some.
Surely Jewish people in general look at this person and it's like, this is like fucking their Helen Webberley or something. It's like, just stop fucking talking about us all the time. Just fucking shut up,
People don't know this about me, but I love to cook. So I'm going to make Frank some green goddess salad with lobster tail for dinner.
What the fuck was that topic? You're not even cutting it when you do that. You're just patting it down. Does anyone know if this is what you're meant to do with a lobster? I've never cooked one. Are you supposed to kind of get it out without cutting the meat at all? I can't remember. This is for 2 people? There's like food for 2 people? Have I played the Kaizo Knight mod for Deltarune? I've never played Deltarune, so I'm gonna guess I haven't played that either, no. Oh, she's not actually Jewish, she just wants them to like her. Oh, we're like chopping it up. Suppose it doesn't matter if you like fucking donkey it, if you're gonna chop it up anyway. But like, I thought with lobster tail, normally you kind of keep it whole and it's like the centerpiece, right? I don't know. I know how to cook, I've just never made lobster. Generally it's like unreasonably expensive for what it is, so. Yeah, it's all like minced up. Brianna Wu isn't Jewish. She's just very zogged out.
Wow, this smells really good.
Wait, and then oh no, there's only that much bread. What was all the extra bread for then?
Wow, look at how beautiful that looks.
Are there more cooking videos? I just wanna watch the cooking videos now, to be honest. Yeah, I saw the Buck Angel debate was gonna happen. I'm making a video about Webberley, so like it'll be annoying timing, but it's Buck Angel, so he's probably gonna suck anyway, so.
It really gives away the Free Palestine game that none of them have said anything about the protests going on right now in Iran. So if you don't know, the people in Iran are trying a revolution right now. They're out in the...
Wasn't that Donald Trump, like, encouraging them? And then, like, wiping his hands of it when a bunch of them got killed?
Streets trying to overthrow the IRGC, which is the most awful Islamist, extremist, oppressive, hates women, hates gay people government you could possibly imagine. Just rotten top to bottom. There's no one on earth that could claim to be like for anything to do with liberal or democratic values.
I actually feel like, I don't know, all the fucking propagandizing wearing on me. What the fuck is this?
I'm about to sit down and have some delicious Palestinian shakshuka. If you've never had this dish, you're robbing yourself of a taste bud adventure. It's just one of the most delicious savory breakfasts that you'll ever treat yourself to.
I don't want to listen to this person eat. How many fucking times? Oh, it's all this like, it's all this shit about passing. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, she bought her husband a 3D printer. Very, very quirky and relatable people these are. Are there not more cooking videos? I want to see more cooking videos. We need like a series where Brianna Wu does cooking videos so I can watch them and critique them. Free Palestine is a terrorist movement.
Y'all, we're going to have to talk about what's going on with Free Palestine.
Couldn't have worn a clean fucking t-shirt, I guess.
Which is, it is becoming just a straight up terrorist movement. Here are some facts.
What the fuck is she covered it? Can you see this? What are you fucking covered in? Worse than Webberley, like why can't they ever wear like clean clothes?
FBI yesterday arrested a bunch of people from the DSA, progressive end of the party, that were planning to get a bunch of pipe bombs, go all around the country, and start killing civilians in the name of Free Palestine. Just today in Poland, ISIS was planning mass terrorist attacks. Thank God that was stopped. What wasn't stopped was what happened this weekend in Australia, where two psychotic gunmen with this Free Palestine jihadist ideology just went out in the streets and started slaughtering Jews. I'm a Democrat, but for the last 2 years, we've waffled and we've wagged our finger at Israel from defending themselves from these people. And now where are we? The Intifada?
Yawn. Oh, she's angry now. Oh, is this when the no, it wouldn't. Sorry, I'm being immoral.
I'm angry this morning, and I want to tell you why. After October 7th, it was really
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. You know, I woke up really angry about October 7th again.
clear where this was going to go. My party, the Democratic Party, did not stand with Jews, did not stand with Israel. They stood with the terrorists that attacked Israel.
It's actually quite repetitive, to be honest. The fuck is that? Yeah, I don't know. She should have made more doll cast. That's what we needed. We needed more doll cast. I guess instead we get the same selfie over and over. Wait, it ran out? Does it only show like for a certain amount? I hate Twitter. I mean, I look forward, I guess, to the more video content that she hates making, apparently. That'll be fun. But yeah, I don't know. I'm doing my own cooking. I'm making ragu, but I'm waiting for it to cook. It takes hours and hours. And earlier my cooker was turned off, which didn't help. I don't know. I don't know what else. Like the Helen Webberley stuff, I don't know. I probably have everything I need. I just need to finish it. It's I think it's decent. I don't know. It's one of those things I can't really tell. I haven't made enough hit pieces, I guess. It doesn't come as naturally to me as it needs to. Oh, it's that Robbie Starbuck guy who coincidentally debated Helen Webberley. Let people make art. Wow. Oh, because Elliot Page is in a movie. What's the Brianna Wu challenge? Okay, the Brianna Wu challenge is going to Tel Aviv and then shooting over to Palestinian-controlled Hebron. And we can tell random people on the streets you're gay and I'm a trans woman, and we can see what happens. Like pathological, like fucking hell. Okay. Here we go, she's not a Jew. Also, her nose is literally perfect. Literally perfect nose, everyone. You ever seen a literally perfect nose? Now you have. It's Brianna Wu's nose. Hey kids, if you want to look good, get fucking surgery on your face. I was born like this. I don't know. This person is endlessly amusing. What the fuck was this? Oh, about the trans kid. Was this the debate?
Yeah, I think the Islamist political project to put propaganda out there on social media through bot networks has been really effective at shutting conversation.
Oh yeah, Israel is known for their restraint.
They are actually. Let me ask you something. How many missiles do you think Hezbollah has fired at Israel in the last decade?
Gender GP myself and see whether it.
5? Do you think it's 5?
Listen, I have a son who's coming of age.
Just answer my question. How many missiles do you think they've sent?
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit?
It's not my problem.
You should care. Okay, well the answer is tens of thousands of missiles that Hezbollah has fired at Israel.
Listen, lady, you're not the one.
Wait, I can't even find where this debate was hosted. Whose panel is this? It's not on YouTube anywhere.
Country, you end up with everybody hating you, and you pay all the money, all the blood, you spill it all, and you get absolutely butt kiss in return, and we're fucking tired of it.
Do you know who you sound like? You sound like the fucking progressive idiots that think we should disband every police department in the United States. You sound just like the idiot Democrats that want to dismantle ICE. You sound exactly like them. You're just as extremist. You're just as unserious. And it's like, we have to have a national security strategy. We need police. We need a mechanism to deport people from the United States. And a child throwing a temper tantrum may feel good for you. I hope you find this cathartic, but it's not how adults run a nation, Dustin.
We have more than enough economic control and the ability to put economic pressure on whoever we want to keep. Like,
sanctions have failed. We've been trying this with Iran forever.
What's happening with her voice? It's going insane.
This doesn't work. That doesn't work with the
only your opinion do you.
Wow. Well, she won the debate here.
Wing circles that makes it $3.3 billion that we've advocated in this MOU over the last decade. 100% of that has come.
Doing a debate and then going around saying you won is really, really cringe.
Back to American military manufacturers, which has created jobs and.
Very fascinating. Whoa. Yeah, so that was the debate. I don't even know who the fuck hosted it.
Over and over again. It's time to put stop to all of that shit.
Okay. Fuck knows. What's this?
Public policy, and then there's find out what the public support is. My goal is to maximize the public support for policy. So
incredible. Yeah, this has been fascinating. Hopefully I'll do another stream this week. I'm gonna stop now though. It's been fun. I'll try and sound more enthusiastic next time, but I promise nothing, to be honest. Anyway. Yeah, you're not a middle-aged male if you're not obsessed with Kylie Minogue. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to stop now. Hopefully I will have my Helen Webberley video posted in a few days. Hopefully by the end of the week, certainly. I'm going to stop now. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I love all of you. And goodbye. Bye.